day in Tampa. It's a good football day. It's throwback day. They're bringing out the creamsicle uniforms for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against their old NFC Central Division rival, the Green Bay Packers. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the NFL on Fox. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen along with Tim Ryan and Chris Myers. And for the 0-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it's time to look to the future. They are starting their first-round draft pick at quarterback Josh Freeman, and it's his first NFL start. What do you think?
Well, the future is now clearly for Josh Freeman. And when I look at him, I see a big, strong, gifted athlete, 6'6", 260 pounds. But he did come out as an underclassman. He's going to need a lot of support today from his run game, from his wide receivers, and Sam, from his defense. They can't come out, get down early, and then be one-dimensional offensively. That could be a disaster. You look at the Green Bay Packers, to me, they need a get-right game. I mean, they got a tough part of their schedule coming up. Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, is playing at an extremely high level. Now he's taken far too many sacks, 31, the most in the NFL. He does get his two bookends back today at offensive tackle Chad Clifton and Mark Tauscher. That should help.
Well, it's that old rivalry game, so the Cheeseheads have made their way down from Green Bay to Tampa Bay. And we'll be back right after this from the Verizon Football Zone. Getting ready for a big day of football as the Bucs get ready to take on the Green Bay Packers. Right now, let's take a look at the key Yellow Book moments to look for today. Tim, take us through it.
Well, the Green Bay Packers absolutely have to block better with the offensive line and protect Aaron Rodgers. 31 sacks given up this year, far too many. And for the Buccaneers, it's paramount, Sam, that they run the ball effectively to help the rookie quarterback, Josh Freeman.
A little overcast here in Tampa today. Mild temperatures, however. The wind could be a factor right now at 25 to 30 miles per hour. Chris Myers is going to join us in just a moment as we're getting set for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The flyover, the stadium here in Tampa. Key inactives for the coaches today. Green Bay with a long list, including Jason Spitz, who is done for the season. He has been put on IR. Jordy Nelson still out at wide receiver. Brandon Chiller is out at linebacker. And Tampa Bay missing their top wide receiver, Antonio Bryant. Good to have Chris Myers back with us. He's on the sideline. Let's join him right now.
And Sam, battling the win, sir. 21-year-old Josh Freeman admitted he had a nervous night last night, but felt better when he hit the field. He's been getting advice from everybody, family, friends, teammates, even Aaron Rodgers, who it took 3 years to get his first NFL start, said, hey, things are going to happen faster than you can ever imagine, even in your own mind, and good luck. But his offensive coordinator, Josh Freeman's position coach, said maybe the best and simplest words, play fearless, not reckless.
That's like you, Chris. Well, the Bucs have won the toss, and they've elected to receive. Mason Crosby teeing it up, so Josh Freeman will get the action right away. Back deep is Clifton Smith. He's back after missing some time with a concussion. Crosby kicks it off. With the help of the wind, it's 9 yards deep in the end zone. It's a touchback. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers welcome first-round draft pick Josh Freeman out of Kansas State, the youngest quarterback ever to start for the Bucs. You see the lineup. Ernest Graham is at fullback. Maurice Stovall starting at wide receiver with Antonio Bryant out. Kellen Winslow is the leading receiver. Jeff Bain is back at center. That solidifies the offensive line.
Well, that's a huge part, I think, Sam, of Josh Freeman getting the start. I don't think there was any way, even if he was ready a couple of weeks ago, Freeman, they were going to put him out there without Jeff Bain in front of him, the center that's helping out and calling all the protections for the offense.
And here we go. First NFL start for Josh Freeman. Swings it out to Cadillac Williams. The ball is dropped. It's incomplete. Take a look at the Green Bay Packers, who has switched to a 3-4 defense, and they're still adjusting to it under defensive coordinator Dom Capers. Ryan Pickett, the big man in the middle. We'll see a lot of B.J. Raji. 4 linebackers. Aaron Campman not getting as much sacks as he has in the past. Clay Matthews, good start to his rookie season. Secondary, Charles Woodson, the dangerous man there. John Gilmore comes in at tight end, replacing Kellen Winslow. Cadillac Williams squeezes through the hole and gets about 5 on the play up to the 25-yard line. Nick Barnett, the inside linebacker, making the tackle.
Yeah, they're going to need to run the football today. There's no question. And I think when you look at this offensive line in Tampa, and really since training camp, remember when Jack Gudzinski was here, the offensive coordinator, since been fired, they implemented that zone running scheme. With the offensive line and everybody coming off on a track, I would think, and we saw a little bit of it there, you're going to see more lead blocking out of the fullback, more doubles, more pulls up front by the offensive linemen. They're going to get back to the power game. To me, it's how they're suited physically.
Here's 3rd and 5. Kellen Winslow back in. Sammy Straughter, number 18, in as a 3rd wide receiver. Freeman steps up, in trouble, looking to run. And he slides. He's going to be short of the first down. Now, that's a bit of a rookie mistake. He went to the ground and slid, but when he goes down, it's where the ball is. You can see he's confused, but the spot is about the 29-yard line.
Yeah, the spot is right. He needed to lay out and slide head first, if you will, to get that ball past the sticks to pick up the first down.
Raheem Morris, the rookie head coach.
You see the first down marker, the yellow line. And he slides down, and where his rear end hits, that ball is behind the 30-yard line.
Dirk Johnson back to punt. Tramon Williams is deep. High kick. Williams comes up, takes it at the 30. Couple of nice moves. Stays on his feet. There's a flag on the play. Williams on a good return is tripped up and falls forward to the Bucs' 44-yard line, but there's a flag back on the other side of midfield. We'll check it out. Good return of 27 yards for Tramon Williams. Our referee is Pete Morelli.
Number 33 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. Will be first down. Timeout.
That wipes out a good return, but the Packers have the ball for the first time this afternoon. Check out the lineup on offense for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, as Tim mentioned earlier, he's the top-rated quarterback in the NFL. Ryan Grant, the number 1 running back. John Kuhn sees a lot of time at fullback. Greg Jennings, dangerous wide receiver. Packers' all-time leading wide receiver is Donald Driver. The offensive line has got Chad Clifton and Mark Coucher at the tackles. First time they've played together since last December. 5 consecutive ratings of over 100 for Aaron Rodgers. Packers start from the 20. Quick outside to Greg Jennings. Nice move on Aqib Talib, but Talib stays with him. Takes him down at the 26. The Bucs have turned over a lot of their defense, especially up front, though the anchor is Chris Hovan in the middle. Jimmy Wilkerson provides the pass rush. The linebackers, Barrett Root is the leading tackler on the team. Aqib Talib leads with 4 interceptions. 3 of them came in the game against the Redskins. And the veteran Rondé Barber, big-time leader on defense for the Bucs. 3 wide receivers in as James Jones, number 89, is in. Rodgers on 2nd and 4. Puts it up for James Jones. He's got it in stride, and he will take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Another big play burns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A 74-yard touchdown pass from Rodgers to Jones. And there's a flag for excessive celebration against the Packers.
And that's the guy that's had the bullseye on his chest out on the island has been Albert Mack when he is out there. And you saw the safety rotate right down into the running zone. Aaron saw it, had one-on-one coverage, and threw an absolute strike. And just another big play, Sam, given up by this Bucs defense. That's been their Achilles heel all season.
They have given up 6 touchdown passes of 50 yards or more this season.
There is no foul on the play.
All right, they're picking up. Well, Pete Morelli says they're picking up the flag. Mason Crosby for the extra point. So a fast start for the Packers, and this is exactly what they wanted, Tim.
Well, that's the guy that they need to step up. Look, you're going to see Greg Jennings locked up in coverage on Rondé Barber. Talib will be locked up over on Greg Jennings, and you're going to see James Jones needing to step up and have a big day, and he starts real well with that deep route and touchdown.
Perfect pass from Rodgers to Jones.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on.
We are back in Tampa. Albert Mack got burned on that one by James Jones.
Well, he did, but to his defense, and really I think he thought he had help from Savvy Piscatelli, the safety. He's playing from a trail position. Yes, he's in man coverage, but I believe he thought he had some help over the top from the safety. Savvy Piscatelli rotated up into the box, and it was Mack all by himself down the sideline.
Crosby kicks it off. Clifton Smith on the return. Spins at the 25, falls forward to the 28-yard line. For Aaron Rodgers, his longest touchdown pass of his career. 74-yarder and a perfect throw to James Jones. And there's the 21-year-old quarterback out of Kansas State. Josh Freeman, 17th pick overall, has not started a game since last November when he started for Kansas State against Iowa State.
You can see there, terrific career at Kansas State, setting school records. Youngest starting quarterback today in the history of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get the nod.
Two tight ends in, and the carry is by Cadillac Williams up to the 33-yard line. Got about 5 on the play. A.J. Hawk and Clay Matthews combining on the stop. Cadillac runs well at home. He loves the home turf. Hasn't run quite as well on the road. A lot of that could be the fault of the Bucs falling behind and you get away from the running game.
Yeah, and he is a great story in terms of his comeback. It's going to be hard running at those dudes. You just saw Johnny Jolly right in the middle. Those defensive tackles for the Packers, in particular, Jolly and Ryan Pickett, have been playing outstanding.
Give him 6 on the first down carry. Cadillac stops, cuts back. Charles Woodson jumps him. It looks like Cadillac got enough for the first down. The Bucs coming off a bye week as they gathered themselves after a loss in London 2 weeks ago to the New England Patriots. They are 0-7 this year. They've lost 11 consecutive games dating back to last season.
I will say this, when you put on the tape and you watch them play, there is outstanding effort on both sides of the ball. The guys have not given up in terms of what they're putting on the field effort-wise.
Short drop by Freeman. This pass is batted down. Freeman is 6'6". At that time, the front of the Packers came in, arms up, and batted the pass away. He's got his parents here. His brother and sister are here to watch him make his first NFL start, taking over from Josh Johnson as the offensive coordinator, Greg Olson. B.J. Raji in on the defensive line for the Packers. Cadillac, stop. Short of the line of scrimmage. That was good penetration. Nick Collins came up from his safety position to make the stop.
Well, and a good call by Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator. This is a run blitz from the safety position, and Nick Collins just rotates right up into the box, and you're going to see him. He's going to be coming from the left of your screen, and he just blitzes inside. You saw the receiver was trying to block him from the outside in. He just knifed underneath him and got himself a nice tackle for loss. And again, the Bucs in a 3rd and long, right where they don't want to be.
Derek Ward in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. 2 tight ends in now, Jeremy Stevens and Kellen Winslow. On 3rd and 11, Freeman rolls, and his pass might have been tipped by Charles Woodson, intended for Kellen Winslow. That's the guy that they will look to shut down, and the Packers stop him on this series.
And that's the guy Josh Freeman says he feels most comfortable with. Kellen Winslow is an outstanding talent and is the #1 option and the #1 receiver here. That'll be a matchup that is going to be fun to watch all day. Charles Woodson locked up on Kellen Winslow. You got to treat Winslow as a wide receiver, Sam, when he's lined up in the slot.
Dirk Johnson's second punt. Tramon Williams is back at his 15. Good high kick. Williams from the 11. Good coverage by the Bucs. Torrey Cox was down there to make the tackle. The helmet came flying off. 51-yard punt. Good day in Tampa. Packers leading.
Aaron Rodgers is playing today's game with a steel plate in each of his shoes, missing practice time this week because of a foot injury on one side, a toe injury on the other, but it has not affected his game already with the longest touchdown pass of his career. Sam, Tim?
And thanks, Chris. He has thrown touchdown passes in every game this season and in 15 consecutive games. Off the play fake, wants to go deep again. It's intercepted. Albert Mack picked it off, brings it back, cuts in, still on his feet, trying to get one more block, but he's taken down by Aaron Rodgers at the 8-yard line. Redemption for Albert Mack. He got burned last time, and he picks this one off.
You're going to see the route come from this way, and he eyeballs him the whole time. Aaron Rodgers has got his eyes on the receiver, Donald Driver, coming out of the slot. Albert Mack read it the whole way, undercut the route, got a nice interception, and puts him right down in the red zone. That's how you go from a goat to a hero in about 5 minutes. Gives up the big touchdown to James Jones to start the game, and comes back with a huge, huge interception.
First career touchdown in the NFL for the second-year man, Albert Mack. Only the third interception thrown by Aaron Rodgers this season. Derek Ward in the backfield. Two tight ends. Ward cuts it in and gets down close to the 6-yard line. Ryan Pickett and A.J. Hawk combine on the tackle.
They have absolutely got to take advantage of this golden opportunity. You look at the Buccaneers this season, and they do not get into the red zone. Now, they're pretty good when they get there, but you see only 13 possessions down in the money zone. Sam, they've got to take advantage of it.
Right on that. Two wide receivers.
What's up?
Two backs. Ernest Graham lines up at fullback.
Who we got? Right? Both of us on two.
Freeman outside of Derek Ward. Diving for the pylon. He's in. Touchdown. First touchdown pass in the NFL career of Josh Freeman. Smile on his face.
Well, you got Aaron Campman in coverage on Derek Ward. That's just not going to happen. And a terrific read from the quarterback, Josh Freeman. You send two receivers down on the inside. He flares out the running back, Derek Ward, knowing by looking at the tape that Aaron Campman was going to be covering him, and delivers a perfect ball.
New place kicker for the Bucs, their third this season. This is Connor Barth, who was with Kansas City last season. Almost a bad snap, but a good job of getting it down by Dirk Johnson. The Bucs have tied it up. An interception by Albert Mack, a touchdown pass to Derek Ward. Back here in Tampa, where the Bucs have tied it up. Albert Mack with the big interception, and Josh Freeman cashed it in with his first NFL touchdown pass.
I talked to Josh Freeman before the game, Sam, down on the sidelines. I just sat down in front of him. He was sitting on the bench. I said, "You nervous?" He said, "Not really." He goes, "Believe it or not, I thought I would be more nervous." And then we started talking about, your thought process going in, and he was all over the same thing Aaron Rodgers told us yesterday about the first start, that mentally he's got to slow things down because he knows physically it's going to be much faster than he anticipated.
Connor Barth kicks it off. The wind holds it up. Short kick, and it's taken by Spencer Hagener, the backup tight end, the converted linebacker, who takes it up across the 30-yard line to the 31-yard line. So the Packers and Bucs tied at 7. Packers on offense when we come back. Guys going out there and being with the troops, and of course our blessings and our prayers are with all of our troops there in Afghanistan. I'm sure they were thrilled to see the guys there. They did a great job on the show, and it was heartwarming, and it finished with Terry singing. Let's go to the sideline to Chris Myers.
Well, Sam, it was touching for Packer punter Jerry Kapanos, whose brother Matt, a captain in the 82nd Airborne, earned a Bronze Star serving in Afghanistan and Iraq. Kapanos said he's from a family of military. He wears a different uniform, but never it's lost what they do for him and our country.
Thanks, Chris. 2nd and 5 for the Packers. Ryan Grant looking to cut it back, finds the opening. A little stiff arm gains him a few more yards into Bucs territory across the 45-yard line. Kennard Jackson took him down, 19-yard run.
Very good block by Scott Wells here. Hovan's going to come inside. Watch how Wells finishes him off. Gets him to the ground. Then you see the cutback, and then Kennard Jackson late rotating up to make the tackle. Misses the tackle and gets another 5 or 6 yards to Ryan Grant.
The rookie Roy Miller out of the University of Texas replaces Ryan Sims on the defensive line. John Kuhn is in at fullback for the Packers. Here's Ryan Grant again. Solid run inside the 40. So manning our studio in LA is Chris Rose, and he's got an update for us. Chris.
Sam, in Chicago, Cards scored on their first drive. Warner to Fitzgerald. Here it's Cutler to Greg Olsen, his 4th TD catch of the year. Covers 33 yards. We are tied at 7 in the Windy City. Back to Sam, Tim, and Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Bears at 4 and 3. The Packers at 4 and 3. 2nd and 4. Quick, Greg Jennings, a first down inside the 30. Savvy Piscatelli on the stop. And now the Packers getting in the rhythm. They talk about using their passing game to set up the run.
Well, I think they are much better at throwing the football right now with the issues they've had on the offensive line. Look, I know that's been a factor in the sacks. There's no question, but it's also been a factor in the run game. When you got, and I believe this is their 5th different lineup in terms of their starting offensive line, hard to find continuity in the run game.
Donald Lee, the tight end, shifts. It's Ryan Grant behind John Kuhn. Got a couple of yards on the play down to the 27-yard line.
And you look at Aaron Rodgers in the offensive line, 31 sacks given up this year in the NFL. Some weren't his fault, like this one. Look at the sack clock, 2.5 seconds, not even. He already goes down. But the next 2 are examples when the sacks are his fault. You got to get rid of the football right there, almost 6 seconds. He's hanging on to it. Same thing here. And you understand getting out of the pocket, trying to extend the play, trying to make a play, throw it out of bounds. Again, almost 7 seconds of Aaron Rodgers right there holding on to the football.
Michael Bennett in at defensive end for the Bucs. Rodgers straight back, being rushed. Drops it off, screen pass to Amon Green. And he gets down to the 16-yard line. He's got a first down. So Amon Green, who re-signed with the Green Bay Packers just a couple of weeks ago, getting a little playing time, relieving Ryan Grant. Always been a good receiver out of the backfield. And close to being their all-time leading rusher.
And let me tell you this, talking to Mike McCarthy yesterday, who I think is an outstanding coach, Sam, they got to get more out of their backup running back. And they don't even have 60 yards rushing on the year out of their backup running back. That's got to change.
Right here they go with 3 wide receivers. James Jones is in. And off inside of Amon Green. And that's a yard on the play.
We talk about sacks and what an important factor they are in winning games and scoring points. Look at this. This is league-wide now. If you get on a drive and just say the drive, and you got 12 of them per game, and you don't give up a sack, you got a 22% chance of scoring a touchdown. You allow a sack, Sam, during a drive, it goes down to 5%. And then when you look at the Packers, which is different than everybody else, if they've given up a sack on a drive, 0% chance of scoring a touchdown
this season. On 2nd and 9, everybody out. Rodgers looks, throws for Brandon Jackson, who just came into the lineup as the running back. He was covered by Geno Hayes. And that'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Packers. And Aaron Rodgers talks about holding the ball too long and wanting to make a play, not wanting to turn it over. But there are times, as we saw in the video, that he's close to the sideline and can't throw it away.
Yeah, you just got to throw it away. Now, ball security has been outstanding, and that's been the payoff to that. Good job there getting rid of it, though. Just throwing it out of bounds.
Brandon Jackson stays in. 9th play of the drive for the Packers. Rodgers steps up, and he's got a man. It's Greg Jennings at the 5-yard line. And it's good for a first down. He's covered by Aqib Talib. That's a key matchup in the game, but Greg Jennings talk to everybody on the Packers, they feel he is one of the elite receivers in the league.
Yeah, these guys don't have it straight. Look at Rondé and Aqib. I mean, they're talking. Barrett Roots trying to get it straight. A little bit out of sync in terms of their communication. Forces an often soft coverage. Greg Jennings breaks it off right in front of the first down one.
John Kuhn stays in, the only back in the backfield. He's the fullback. Two tight ends. It's Kuhn straight ahead. And he stopped close to the 2-yard line.
John Kuhn. Track by number 51.
Styles White made the tackle.
And a huge story, I think, Sam, for Green Bay is getting Mark Tauscher back and getting Chad Clifton back. And those guys have been the bookends for 10 years. Clifton, hurt his knee this year. You got Tauscher, who had an ACL injury late in the season last year. Didn't even have a team. He was looking for work in September. Good to see those guys back.
We'll see how much they play, but right now they've played all the way. The inside handoff to Ryan Grant, and he's in. Touchdown. Solid work up front by the offensive line, leading Ryan Grant in, and the Packers regain the lead. 4th rushing touchdown of the season for Ryan Grant. Good drive by the Packers. They moved the ball through the air, threw in a couple of runs, and they protected Aaron Rodgers. Mason Crosby's extra point is good. The Packers have a 14-7 lead. They've been a good first quarter team most of this season. Ryan Grant follows the blocking up front into the end zone. 11 plays, 69 yards, and they're the bookend tackles we were talking about.
Yeah, and I think much better as pass protectors than the 2 young kids they had out there in Alan Barber and TJ Lang, the 4th-round pick. But I would think as the Packers, their ambition in this game was, if things go right, Sam, get up a couple of touchdowns, and then I think we will see the young kids out there playing as well. At least that's what Mike McCarthy told us.
Long line drive kick by Mason Crosby goes through the end zone for a touchback. Well, weekdays, we want you to make lunchtime your new prime time. Log on to foxsports.com and we bring you Lunch with Benefits. Great sports shows, original sports shows every day. Monday, it's the after party with Jake Glaser. He talks to all the top players on Sunday. And then on Tuesday, it's Coach Speak with Brian Billick, and he'll have John Harbaugh of Baltimore, Mike Singletary of San Francisco, Jack Del Rio of Jacksonville, and Mike Smith of Atlanta as his guest to talk football. It's every day, foxsports.com on MSN, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Derek Ward carrying on first down. Short pickup. Chris Rose has an update on what's happening in Atlanta. Chris.
Yeah, Sam, it's getting ugly for the Redskins. Jason Campbell to Fred Davis to Ty Hill. Boop. He returns at 62 yards for his first career touchdown. Not exactly the way Sherman Lewis threw it up in the bingo parlor. It's 14-zip Atlanta. Back to Sam, Tim, and Chris.
A lot of problems for Washington. You're right, Chris. Thank you. For Atlanta, trying to keep pace. 3 games behind. First place, New Orleans. Off the play fake. Freeman still has it. And he completes it to Kellen Winslow at the 35-yard line. For a big man, 6'6", 250, he moves very, very well.
Well, he does, and had 14 rushing touchdowns. But it's really, you got a blitz coming this way from Al Harris. Watch the block. It's actually Ernest Graham, the fullback, comes out and gets a nice block on the corner blitz. Al Harris knocks him off by some time and then delivers a perfect throw on the run to back across the formation.
Brian Clark, number 87, in at wide receiver. That was a 17-yard pickup on the last play. Derek Ward on the carry. Short pickup again. Maybe just, let's give him no gain on the play as they give him forward progress back to the 37-yard line.
Very good play by the first-round pick. B.J. Raji, who is starting to flash a little bit, number 90. You see him just lock out on Jeremy Zutaw and knock him about 3 yards in the backfield. I'll say this, Sam, and watching the tape, those guys up front, Pickett, Raji, Johnny Jolly, And Mike Turgovac, I think, coming over from Carolina, now the defensive line coach, has done a terrific job with those guys, and it's showing up on tape.
Two tight ends in, Jeremy Stevens and John Gilmore. Freeman short drop, and the pass batted down. Intended for Brian Clark, and well covered by Tramon Williams. Bring up a 3rd and long for the Bucs.
They are turning up the heat. I have seen 4 or 5 run blitzes already in this game from the Packers. We just saw a 0 blitz there where they were sending 7. Had no help on the back end with safeties over the top. They're obviously not giving a lot of respect to the quarterback. I mean, clearly, in trying to put pressure on him and force him to do some mistakes.
They want to show him everything, but the good thing for Freeman is he's got his offensive line intact, and they're helping him. Sammy Slaughter in as a 3rd wide receiver. Freeman in trouble. Moved out of the way and gets it to Derek Ward. Breaks free. And he is pulled down. What an effort by Derek Ward. Al Harris finally took him down inside the 25-yard line. A pickup of 39 on the play. And how about the mobility of Josh Freeman?
Well, you got 2 backers coming in blitzing, and it is the mobility of Josh Freeman. He's able to get away from Nick Barnett, and again, without setting his feet, which to me is a great example of arm strength, and delivers a perfect ball. What did Greg Olsen tell us about his quarterback? He needs to be able to throw under pressure. We don't know if he can do that. He's done it already a couple of times well today.
End of the first quarter. Packers lead the Bucs 14-7. And Tim Ryan, Chris Myers with you. Glad you're with us on the NFL on Fox. The Bucs on the move at the Packers 25 with Cadillac Williams and Ernest Graham in the backfield.
What is that? Face mask!
He stopped short of the line of scrimmage. Nick Barnett, the inside linebacker, with a good tackle. And we go down to the man who has joined us in Sunshine Country. He loves these warm weather games. Here's Chris Myers.
Sam, Josh's father, Ron Freeman, is here with family. Ron played 3 years in the USFL with the Orlando Renegades and Pittsburgh Maulers, and actually coached. He's wearing the white hat. He coached the high school defense against his son back in Missouri before the game. He said he leaned on Tony Dungy for some advice for his son, and Dungy said, "You did a great job raising him." But Tony Dungy and Josh Freeman talk on a regular basis.
Thanks, Chris. And Josh's brother looks just like him. Oh, that's a great tackle by Charles Woodson on Cadillac Williams, who was trying to get outside and got nothing going. So 2 good stops by the Packers.
Well, they are just blitzing the run and getting after it. I mean, they got linebackers. Everybody's getting downhill. And then watch Woodson, the downhill backer, or excuse me, Campman, outside backer, forces it to bounce, and then Woodson knifes in there. He has been so good since he came to Green Bay. You remember when he came over from the Raiders? This guy was a Heisman Trophy winner, right? When he came over from Oakland, a lot of people thought, how much career does this guy really have left? He's been better here, far better here than he was with the Raiders.
Packers have 6 defensive backs in on 3rd and 12. Freeman with time. Nobody open. Looking downfield, he lofts it out of bounds. So now the field goal kicking unit will come on. We get a look at Connor Barth. Mike Nugent started the season. He was cut. And then they followed up with Shane Andrews, who attempted 1 field goal, and then he was released. And now here is Connor Barth, who was 10 for 12 for Kansas City last season. This is a 45-yard attempt. Kirk Johnson, the holder. It's on the way, and he pushed it outside the upright. It started to draw back in. There is a flag down.
Illegal formation. Number 69 did not line up on the line of scrimmage. Penalty will be declined. The result of the play is a missed field goal. By rule, the ball will be placed at the spot of the kick.
So the Bucs fail with an opportunity to get points on the board. Connor Barth's first field goal try as a Buck misses. Packers start from the 35-yard line, their 4th possession of the game. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Spencer Havener moves back in the H-back position. Off the play fake. Rodgers rolling, going to run with it. And he is a terrific athlete as well, even with his sore feet. But one thing that Mike McCarthy was telling us is that when Aaron Rodgers stepped in, he didn't realize how athletic he was.
Well, an extremely underrated athlete. He really is. And he's better this year than he's ever been. This guy is in such great condition. He went to the offseason this year and went out down to San Diego, trained with Drew Brees and some of the elite NFL quarterbacks. And he said, I just took it to another level from a conditioning standpoint. And it shows. I think he's leading the league in rushing for quarterbacks. Very athletic.
Kuhn, the fullback, in motion. Two fullbacks in there. The handoff to Ryan Grant. Lost the yard. So they lined up in a running formation. They had Kuhn and Quinn Johnson, two fullbacks in the lineup. Ran with Ryan Grant, lost the yard.
Yeah, we like to call that 30 personnel, 3 running backs in the game, no tight ends. And what you're seeing, I think, out of Tampa that we hadn't seen a lot of in the first 5 or 6 games, saw more of it, Sam, against New England a few weeks ago. They're doing a lot more of 8 in the box, getting that safety. Remember the old style Tampa, let's play the run with 8 defenders? They're doing a lot of that this game, putting that extra safety up in the combat zone.
They split the tight end Haver wide left, 3 wide receivers on 3rd and 4. Rodgers with time, and that's batted down. Trying to get it to Donald Driver. Rondé Barber, well covered, did a good job. 2 veterans there, Donald Driver and Rondé Barber. That's a good matchup.
Both 34 years old. Both want to play, I think, till they're about 40
right.
years old. So that should be a good matchup. Sam, I think part of it was they sent 5, Tampa Bay defensively, sent 5 guys after the quarterback, which is going to put guys in man coverage, and Rondé stuck to Driver like glue.
First punt of the game for Jeremy Campbell. He blocked it, and it's picked up. And heading in is Rondé Barber. Touchdown! I believe Gino Hayes was the man who blocked it. Rondé Barber, ever the ball hawk, picked it up and gets another touchdown return.
Well, and there he comes. Oh, yeah, he goes right by the center, and nobody even touches him. He goes by Good and then the right guard, and nobody steps down. The right guard has got to step down to block Gino Hayes. Nobody touched him, came through scot-free. Campanos had no chance.
14th career touchdown for Rondé Barber. But what a play by Gino Hayes. The extra point try by Connor Barth is good. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have tied the game. Campanos didn't know what hit him. It was Gino Hayes, and there was Rondé Barber. And the Bucs have tied it.
Sam, watch Brad Jones, rookie 7th round pick. He's right there. He does not step down at all. And they're all fanning out to the side. And Gino Hayes comes scot-free, and you would love, maybe that was by design and you're fanning to the right. You would love John Kuhn, if that was the scheme design, to be able to pop to the right as a personal protector and pick up that free runner. Either way you look at it, it was a bust in protection for the Packers punt unit.
Amon Green on the return was knocked down by Torrey Cox. Spot the ball at the 24-yard line. Now, this is retro weekend, throwback day for the Buccaneers, honoring the team from 1979 that was the first Bucs team to make the playoffs. They started with 26 consecutive losses. And then in 1979, led by Leroy Selman on the defense, their future Hall of Famer, Coach John McKay, they made the playoffs on the last game of the season. They beat Philadelphia in the playoffs, and with a chance to get to the Super Bowl, they lost to the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Injured player was Nico Kudavidas.
Would you rather have more? Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Chevy. Put us up against anyone, and may the best car win.
Back in Tampa, and there's the team from 1979 being honored today. Leroy Selman singularly being honored, going into the new Ring of Honor. Aaron Rodgers fakes on first down, throws, and he's got an open man, Donald Driver, up at the 37-yard line. And he is sworn refuses to go down. But Rodgers found Driver at the last minute.
Will Allen.
Well, and that time was thrown against a zone, and like a real zone, an old-school Tampa zone where guys were playing in underneath coverage, including Rondé Barber. And when you have time, when you're throwing against a zone defense, the windows are going to open. That's what happened that time for Donald.
Donald Driver, a catch in 119 consecutive games, a Packers record. Amon Green and John Kuhn in the backfield. Greg Jennings motions. Play fake. Rodgers going outside for Jennings, threw it high. May have thrown it away because he was double covered on the play.
Incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 37.
2nd and 10 for the Packers. For the Bucs, coming off the bye week, during the bye week, the rookie head coach Raheem Morris showed them highlights of the positive things of the first 7 games. Yeah, at 0-7, there aren't a ton of them, but there were enough that he highlighted them and said, guys, let's keep thinking positive as we head into the midpoint of the season.
And let's be honest, Sam, they do have some outstanding leadership, especially on the defensive side of the ball with Hogan and Barber and some of those guys to lean on.
2 wide receivers. Inside handoff to Amon Green, bounced off one man and gets across the 40 to the 41. Let's check out Arizona at Chicago and go back to Chris Rose.
Sam, no Anquan Bolden, no problem for Kurt Warner. He's hooked up with Larry Fitzgerald not once but twice today. That from 17 yards out, and the Cards up 21-7 on the Bears. Back to Sam, Tim, and Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Arizona in first place, 4-3, a game ahead of San Francisco. The Bucs crowd gets loud on 3rd and 6. Rodgers, nobody open. Still looking. Now takes off and gets the first down. He kept waiting. He wanted to go deep. The Bucs did a good job of coverage.
Well, they did a good job in protection, too. Watch Chad Clifton kick back and block Greg White. Does not let him get to the outside. Greg White tries to counter, come back inside. Or, excuse me, yeah, Styles White.
Styles G. White.
G. White. Really a good job, though, by Chad Clifton. Good to have him back there at left tackle.
Well, that's the comfort that Aaron Rodgers talked about with having Clifton and Tauscher at the tackle. Yep. The great experience they bring to the offensive line. Ryan Grant behind Quinn Johnson. Was hit hard as he crossed midfield. Keep Talib on the tackle.
Scott Wells pointing out the Mike linebacker, letting everybody know what, and typically when a center does that, he's letting the offensive line know this is the Mike. We'll be responsible for any 2 guys weak side who may come on a blitz.
On 2nd down, Ryan Grant squeezes through, breaks a couple of tackles, and he's brought down by Rondé Barber at the 33-yard line. Nice run by Ryan Grant. He picked up 15 on the play.
Oh, he can be a workhorse now, Ryan Grant. He's just going to come right through here. You're going to get a missed tackle. Will Allen up in the hole. 26 right there. Will Allen's got to make that tackle. You got to get your head across his body. If you don't do that on Ryan Grant, he's every bit of 220 pounds. He's got enough power to run right through those arm tackles that safeties are trying to put on.
8 carries, 52 yards for Ryan Grant. First down, it's Grant behind Kuhn. That time he's tripped up. Kennard Jackson comes up to make the tackle. Good play by the Bucs safety.
And I think when you look at this run game, Ryan Grant last year, 1,200-yard season, I believe a career high. I think he's on pace, Sam, for that same thing this year, over 4 yards a carry. But I think what's hurt him, number one, the sacks, all the negative plays, all the penalties that they've had. They've been in a lot of long-distance situations, which I think has really kind of neutralized what they can do in the run game.
Single back is John Kuhn, the fullback. 2 tight ends. On and 9. Rodgers being pressured, throwing deep. He's got a man. Touchdown! Donald Driver with a beautiful catch. 32-yard touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers to Donald Driver, and another big play burns the Bucs.
Well, that's the risk reward when you play that man coverage and you want to turn and try to disrupt the receiver and then turn and run with him. That time it looked like a double move from Donald Driver. Rondé Barber bit on the slant route, and then Donald took off and made a house call for a touchdown.
Mason Crosby for the extra point. And for the third time in the game, the Packers have the lead. Aaron Rodgers, another perfect throw. Driver with a great catch and tiptoes in.
Touchdown. Rondé Barber has always been a gambler, and he loses here. He gambles and wants to bite on the slant route. Thought he was going to undercut it and get a pass breakup or an interception. Donald Driver stuck his left cleat in the turf and went back to the outside and just ran away from Rondé Barber, who got burned a little bit thinking he was going to make a big play.
Now, on that drive, Packers had 5 runs, only 3 passes. Did the run game, the good running of Ryan Grant, help set up that touchdown pass?
I think it did. Now, again, I think Rondé and being in that coverage and where he was, and there was only one receiver to that side, and you could see from the replay, Rondé had his eyes in at the quarterback. I think he was playing Aaron Rodgers the whole time, and Aaron took a look at the slant, and then, like I said, Donald just ran away from him, kicked it back outside.
Maurice Stovall, the up man. Clifton Smith is deep to receive the kick of Mason Crosby. Packers with a lead for the third time in the game. The wind blows the ball off the tee. So Tramon Williams will come in to hold the ball on the tee. On the tee, there is Donald Driver. In receptions of 20 yards or more, there's Donald Driver with 11 now this season to lead the NFL.
Now, the guy's amazing. All-time leader in receptions for the Green Bay Packers. Asked him about that yesterday. I said, did it sink in yet? Because I didn't really think much about it until Sterling called me. Then once Sterling Sharp called me, I was like, wow, and this has really happened.
And then he called James Lofton. He said, you know, now I want your reception yards record.
You're next.
I need 1,100 yards. Whoa, look at that kick. Will it stay in the stadium? Off the wall. Let's go down to the field to Chris Myers. Chris?
Sam and Tim on the Packer bench, and Donald Driver, he missed practice during the week, nagging injuries, but not enough to keep him out of the game. But he said it felt good on his old body to get a rest, but he likes practicing. He says it's still necessary. He'll turn 35 in a couple of months and told us he wants to play until he's 40, and was not a goal setter when his career started out, just wanted to help the team win. Now he's been piling up the goals, and as you talked about, would love to add to them.
He's a special player and hooked up with Brett Favre. We asked him about that game last week. He said you can still see how much Brett loves to play the game, and he loves it the same way. Play fake by Freeman on first down. In trouble, he rolls away. There's a flag on the play. I think there's going to be a penalty on Donald Penn, the offensive tackle. Big time pressure. Freeman threw that ball away.
Well, he's going to get the hands to the face on Clay Matthews is what's going to happen. I'm not so sure it was a hold. It was illegal hands to the face as he had his left hand all up in the grill of the rookie Clay Matthews.
Holding. Number 70, offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
I guess holding him by his face is the call. Watch Donald Penn's left hand. Look, yeah, I'm going to hold you by your jaw up under your grill.
He had one hand on his arm, the other on his face. And Donald Penn called for the hold. That sets the Bucs back to the 10-yard line. Cadillac Williams and Ernest Graham in the backfield. Graham the fullback.
190. What is that?
Off the play fake. Freeman rolling. And he is hit by A.J. Hawk. And that time he didn't get rid of the ball. He was near the sideline, could have thrown it away. A.J. Hawk took him down for the sack.
Well, you can't take a loss like that. That is absolutely a rookie mistake. I mean, you break contain, and you get outside of the pocket. Watch the sack clock here. Quarterbacks, you want him to get it out at 3 seconds. Okay, he's extending the play with his legs, trying to make something happen. you're almost at 5 seconds, you're outside of the pocket. Guys in the NFL will absolutely run you down. Just get rid of the ball, especially when your backs are against the wall on your own goal line.
Packers haven't had that many sacks this season. A.J. Hawk gets his first. 2nd and 27. And he dropped the ball. Freeman dives on top. Mishandling of the snap. And Freeman was able to fall on top. So the Bucs having a rough stretch here. Penalty, sack. And then the fumbled snap, and Freeman was heading for the sideline thinking it was 4th down.
And it's only 3rd down.
It goes back to the huddle.
Yeah, he's clearly a little exchange fumble, and it looked like a good snap that Fane got it up there, but right as the ball arrived, Josh Freeman split his hands open and was never able to really grab a hold of it.
Have to get to the 30 for a first down. They go draw play to Cadillac Williams. He gets to the 9-yard line. Charles Woodson takes him down, and the Bucs will be forced to punt. That was not a good series for the Bucs. Nothing went right, and the Packers are going to get pretty good field position here. Kirk Johnson backing up into his end zone. Tramon Williams is just around midfield. Short punt. They may have gotten a piece of it. Takes a Bucs roll, but it rolls dead at the 45-yard line of Tampa Bay. Pressure on Dirk Johnson. He just got it away, but didn't get much on it.
One of the reasons the Packers defense improved, Kevin Green, who is the all-time sack leader as a linebacker himself, a first-year coach, and working with Aaron Campbell, who's gone from that pass-rushing lineman to a 3-4 linebacker, and says that Campbell will be a better player because we'll get more out of him in all 3 areas, his coverage, his pass rush, and stopping the run. And Green says as a coach, it's an adjustment. He lets the players do it their way, and then he said, I show them my way, and they see what works.
Thanks, Chris. And he did it. He made that switch. And one thing about Aaron Campbell, he told us yesterday in our meetings, and he said, now I know the defense better. I know where everything fits. And they stop the play. Flags go down. False start against the Packers.
False start. Number 70 offense. 5-yard penalty still. First down.
Yeah, he was a great player. I was at USC when he was out in Los Angeles with the Rams, so we get to hang out a little bit every once in a while. And look at him when he was in St. Louis, or excuse me, LA with the Rams, and playing defensive end with his hand down in the dirt, sacking the quarterback. He goes over to the Steelers for about 3 seasons, now converted to a true outside linebacker, just killing running backs. He gets the sack there, and then went on to Carolina and absolutely thrived down there with Dom Capers as well.
On 1st and 15, Ryan Grant carries for a couple of yards. The Packers with a chance to widen the lead. This is their 6th possession of the first half. They've scored 3 touchdowns. The big plays, 74-yard touchdown pass and a 32-yard touchdown pass thrown by Aaron Rodgers. Ryan Grant, who seems to pick up more yards and more times.
He's a bruiser. He's underrated in terms of his size and his power. Not a lot of people talk about that, but he's every bit of 220 pounds.
3 wide receivers. James Jones in, the 3rd wide receiver. Rodgers still with it. Spins. Looking and throwing, and throws it away. He was in trouble. Big rush by Styles White.
Styles White needs to go for that upfield shoulder so not let the quarterback spin out. When you come here, get to the upfield shoulder so the QB doesn't spin. They do not want Aaron Rodgers escaping to his right. So this is the side that they want him to get out to. And a good job by Aaron, again, just throwing it away. Not so sure last week he'd have done that. At least he didn't on tape and taken a couple of bad sacks.
Michael Bennett in at defensive tackle for the Bucs. And the officials step in as timeout is called. by the Green Bay Packers. And next week, NFL on Fox. We've got another big doubleheader day coming your way. Lions and Vikings, Bucks and Dolphins, Saints and the Rams, Falcons and the Panthers. The Packers will be home against the Dallas Cowboys in our second game of the doubleheader. It all starts with the Ford Drive 1 Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Packers, we talked about the tough schedule upcoming for them. After Dallas, they've got San Francisco. They've got Thanksgiving Day against the Lions, and then they've got Baltimore coming in. Brandon Jackson is in at running back for the Packers. 3rd and 13. Will Allen has gone to the locker room for the Bucks. The draw play to Jackson, and he's stopped by Rondé Barber. Bucks had that spelled out. So after getting great field position, a quick penalty set the Packers back, and they didn't get anything going.
Yeah, good job.
Defensive series.
Very good defensive series. I'll tell you one thing, and the Bucks' problems have been busted coverages, clearly in this game. In terms of giving up the big plays, looks like they've settled into running some more zone now.
Capanos with the punt, and on the return, it's Clifton Smith fighting his way up close to the 30-yard line. They give him forward progress at the 28. "35-yard punt, 15-yard return." We're reaching the midway point of the season. At midseason, the outstanding quarterbacks. Drew Brees having a great season for the Saints. And how about Brett Favre? Boy, was he fabulous last week, and only 3 interceptions. Peyton Manning has completed 71% of his passes, best in the league, and Aaron Rodgers has the best quarterback rating in the NFL.
7 of those 16 touchdowns by Brett against his old team in the 2 matchups against these Green Bay Packers.
Oh, the Vikings were tough on the Packers. Josh Freeman throws, and a good grab by Maurice Stovall at the 41-yard line. Stovall getting playing time with Antonio Bryan out today.
This guy needs to step up. I mean, he has always had the big body and very good on special teams. He needs to step up in the receiver corps because I think he's loaded with talent. He's just going to run a deep crossing route, and the ball is perfectly on time right out of his break. And I think when you look at Stovall, and I remember a couple of years ago, Rondé Barber said, he's our Marcus Colston. We got to get him on the field more, and he's got to step up.
Off the play fake. Freeman throwing it. It's intercepted by Tramon Williams. That's Nick Collins, excuse me. Nick Collins with the interception. And that pass was underthrown.
Well, he had his feet set. Looked like everything was good and on time in terms of the throw. Let's see the route from Marcus Colston. He's going to run a corner route. He's going to break it inside. Now he's going to kick it back to the outside. Yeah, I think Nick Collins read it the whole way. He was all over that route. I think that was a corner route. I don't think it was an out route where you really want him to break it flat or come back. I just think the safety, Nick Collins, who's always been a terrific playmaker, was in the eyes and in the head of the quarterback, Freeman.
Will be a 30-second timeout.
First interception thrown by Josh Freeman as he begins his NFL career as a starter. He came in the game in London, and Collins getting some attention on the sideline. He seemed to slip as he was dropping back, then collected himself. It looked like he had his feet underneath him.
Should have not thrown the ball. He never saw the safety. And Nick Collins was absolutely knew where the receiver was going on the corner route. He read the route.
Watch him go back here.
Yeah, let's watch his feet here. There's a little bit of a slip. Now he's going to stand tall, gets his feet set, and delivers it. Shouldn't have thrown the ball.
Okay.
Not to that spot with Nick Collins playing the route the whole way.
All right, Packers again, good field position at the Bucks 46. Rodgers short drop, wants to go deep, overthrows Greg Jennings. Aqib Talib covering him on the play.
Aaron said he was going to take some shots at Aqib Talib, and Aqib Talib's a very, very good corner. He's got great ball skills, 4 interceptions in the last 4 games, but has given up a lot of big plays. And Aaron said, he said, man, you respect the guy on tape, and the guy is a terrific player, but when I got Greg Jennings out there, Donald Driver, I like my matchups against anybody, and we're going to try to exploit it.
Number 19, Byron Ely, second-year man out of Houston, just came up from the practice squad, taking the roster spot vacated by Jason Spitz, who was put on IR. He's in the game. Rogers looks for him and goes the other way, and it's incomplete. Intended for the tight end Donald Lee. We'll bring up a 3rd and 10. You know, say this for the Bucs. At 0-7, it's been a rough time. They've given up a lot of big plays, but they're hanging in there. They're finding a way to hang in there. You said it earlier about the effort has been there every game.
Well, they got leadership, and I think what has been built here in Tampa, and you go back over the years, and you still got some guys left, Rondé Barber, Chris Hovan, a few of those guys. They get it. They know what Buck football is all about.
Fans want to stop. Rogers has time. Almost intercepted by Rondé Barber. And again, it was Barber against Driver. Driver's upset. He's going to the official. He wanted an interference call. And the official doesn't sympathize. And Driver heads for the sideline upset. There's Rondé Barber. Jeremy Capanos. This one away. Good high kick. Clifton Smith lets it bounce at the 5. The Packers are around it. It takes a Packers bounce. By staying in the field of play, there is a flag on the play.
There's Driver. Rondé right there. Oh, Rondé he doesn't take the bait on Greg Jennings and goes and gets a nice 2-hand little chuck on him and then peels back to Donald Driver and gets the pass breakup.
12 men on the field. Receiving team, the penalty will be declined. First down, Tampa Bay.
So the Bucs will get the ball at their own 6-yard line. And the young head coach, Raheem Morris, who has had some upheaval, as you mentioned, the firing of the offensive coordinator, Jeff Jagodzinski, before the season got going. Greg Olson taking over.
Sam, I'll say this, just in talking to the players, and yes, he's green, and this is all, you know, it's a big spot for Raheem and all that. The players love him. Every guy we talked to, Rondé Barber included, they love Raheem Morris. Even I think Kellen Winslow said, we desperately want to get a win. We want to win for Raheem. The players really appreciate what Coach Morris is all about.
3 wide receivers in. They run it with Cadillac Williams. Across the 10 and up to the 12-yard line. 6-yard pickup on first down. B.J. Raji in on the stop. The Packers' first-round draft pick. Rookie out of Boston College. There's Kevin Green on the sideline. There's B.J. Raji. Sammy Stroughter in as a 3rd wide receiver for the Bucs. Cadillac Williams. And he's very close to the first down. Let's see where the spot is. And it looks like they're going to give him enough for the first down. Nick Barnett on the tackle. As we come down to the 2-minute warning. Young Josh Freeman in his first sustained action in over a year. Special day for one of the all-time greats in the NFL, number 63. He was a great one here. That's Leroy Selman. First-round draft pick, became an All-Star and a Hall of Famer, and he will become the first player to be entered into the new Ring of Honor for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at halftime. Great to see Leroy and his family here. Freeman gets time, and to Maurice Stovall up to the 27-yard line. It's a first down. A 2-minute drill, which didn't look that good in practice on Friday.
No, it was not good at all. Let's see how the rookie handles it here, and I would think that Dom Capers is going to throw a bag of tricks at him in terms of a bunch of different looks on defense for the rookie to try to digest. Here comes a blitz.
Packers got a late man on the field. A.J. Hawk came running on at the last minute. Wide open. He overthrows Michael Clayton. There's a flag on the play. We'll check that out. Clayton was wide open. Packers had some problems. A.J. Hawk came running on the field while the play was the ball was being snapped. There's some discussion about it. Pete Morelli trying to clear it all up. A lengthy discussion here. All right, Pete.
As long as he was on the field, it's not.
12 men.
They had too many.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Wasn't supposed to be on the field.
I looked up and there was A.J. Hawk running across the field. The ball was being snapped. So the Packers had some confusion.
There he is there. He's the 12th guy. Just going to go get in coverage.
Just blend right in. So now the Bucs with 2 timeouts remaining. The 1st and 5 at the 32-yard line.
They're going to challenge. They're going to review it up in the booth under 2 minutes to see if, in fact, there were 12 guys on the field.
And Pete, with a smile on his face, will go under the hood and check it out. All right, Tim, let's see if you can help Pete Morelli out here.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Am I missing anybody? That's no penalty.
Okay, 2, 5, 6. Okay, looks right.
Well, you don't trust me?
Just checking it out.
It was right there in front of you.
Just checking it out. Want to make sure you counted right.
Okay, we better count them up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So A.J. went off the field and then realized he had to be on the field because there were only 10 on there. There he comes back.
This isn't going to be a penalty.
There shouldn't be a penalty.
No.
But there was confusion on the part of the Packers, obviously, in setting their defense. Mike McCarthy.
And think about this. I mean, to his credit, and it's not an excuse for A.J. Hawk, but he hasn't been out there nearly as much in all the sub packages and all that, with Brandon Chiller being out there and playing quite a bit.
It's an important year for the Packers as they try to bounce back after not making the playoffs last year. Came 1 game short of the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Don't forget, we've got the Visa halftime report coming your way, and we've got John Lynch and Trent Green in the studio in Los Angeles with Chris Rose, and they'll bring you all the scores and the highlights, and you'll check out the Fox Sports ticker, see how your fantasy team is doing, and again, our best to our guys, the Fox regular studio crew going to Afghanistan to visit.
That was really neat,
bring
wasn't
the pregame show there.
That was great. I know those guys really enjoyed that experience going over. Talked to Glazer.
Who loved it the most was Glazer showing off his martial arts stuff. Watch this move, guys. I can teach you this.
Put your head in the sand, Glaze. Here you go.
All right, Pete.
And you know what? The NFL is great with all the USO tours and all the guys that have traveled over players. I know, guys around the league that have done it and really, really are honored to do it and very humbled when they go over there and come back.
Pete Morelli coming back onto the field for the announcement. He's bringing over one of the other officials. So this has been a lengthy delay here on the review of the penalty of 12 men on the field.
After reviewing the play, Green Bay only had 11 players on the field. There is no foul for 12 men. We had an incomplete pass. It will be 2nd down and 10 on the 28.
All right. Thank you, Pete. Now we got it straight. 1:25 to go. And the Bucs down by 7. Josh Freeman in his first NFL start. 5 of 11, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. That was to Derek Ward. A short pass, which he took in. And 1 interception thrown by Josh Freeman. 3 wide receivers in. Sammy Stroughter is in as the third. Blitz coming. Good pass to Stovall. Taken down by Nick Collins up near midfield. That was a good throw under pressure by Freeman.
Well, you can see his 6'6" height is a big advantage. He can stand tall in the pocket, and when you see a deep crossing or deep in route like that across the middle of the field, Stovall's got the big body. Perfect throw from Josh Freeman.
Everybody out. Freeman being pressured, slips away. They're chasing him, and he'll run to the sideline. Nice pickup. Out of bounds. First down. Just short of the 40-yard line. That was a good run. Again, showing his athleticism and mobility.
How about the pocket awareness for a guy who hasn't started a game in almost a year? Very, very impressed with that. And then to be able to get on his horse and run away from Aaron Campman. Impressive.
Well, the quarterbacks they've used this season, Byron Leftwich, big arm, not very mobile. Josh Johnson, very mobile. And this is, in Josh Freeman, you've got a combination of both. Ryan Clark in at wide receiver for Tampa Bay. And the toss to the sideline for Stovall. He comes down out of bounds. Incomplete. Al Harris covering on the play.
Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Bring us 2nd and 10.
I like the fact that he took a shot. He's got a 6'5" receiver out there on a smaller corner. Give him a chance.
Al Harris, the veteran cornerback.
And I would expect this. I would expect as we get into the second half, you're going to see Josh Freeman trying to attack this defense deep. You're going to see him, I think, throw 4 or 5 deep balls as this game continues. He certainly has the arm to do it.
Gets protection. Throws to Cadillac Williams, and he dropped it. Ruling is incomplete. Nick Barnett, the inside linebacker, was covering on the play. Timeout for the Bucs. They have 1 timeout remaining. If you didn't see the pregame show earlier, this was part of it. Here's Kurt Menefee running the show.
Back home in America by giving these fine men and women out here a standing ovation from us to you.
Yes.
Just to let you know that we
Thank you.
appreciate everything that you do for us. Thank you very much. Okay, so
What a scene.
That's
From
awesome.
Afghanistan, the special 2-hour pregame show. And again, to our men and women in the armed forces over there, we wish you nothing but safety and a quick return home.
Huge debt of gratitude. We got Veterans Day coming up on Wednesday.
Yep. Raheem Morris would like to get in position to get some points on the board. Bucs missed an opportunity earlier with a field goal try that missed by the new field goal kicker, Connor Barth, the 45-yarder that was wide right. Right here, it's 3rd and 10 for the Bucs.
190.
The wide receivers and Kellen Winslow. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Freeman throws short to Kellen Winslow. Nice move on Woodson. He's got a first down inside the 30. With the clock stopped, Tampa Bay uses their last timeout.
Here's where you like having a big quarterback. Campman's going to come inside, get a little bull rush, and Freeman's got very good pocket awareness. I mean, he's staring down the receiver, but feels Aaron Campman break off inside. Again, not affected by Campman because he's got such a big body and is so solid, Sam, on his own 2 feet, Josh Freeman.
He's very impressive.
I've been impressed with him, and he's gotten help. This is what I like, is that he got the big interception early from Albert Mack, which got him in the red zone in position. He made a nice throw on the touchdown to to the running back, Derek Ward, and then, of course, the punt block for a touchdown. Geno Hayes blocks it. Rondé Barber picks it up and takes it into the end zone.
And we know he's a 21-year-old rookie. There's going to be ups and downs.
Be a lot of growing pains.
There are going to be things that he'll have never seen. Calm and poised, and has done a nice job thus far in the first half. That is Connor Barth limbering up. Will he get a chance here with 31 seconds to go? Bucks will probably take a couple of shots. Economos, the long snapper, and Connor Barth puts it through. So his first field goal of the season in the NFL. Last season he kicked for Kansas City and was 10 for 12. And the Bucks trail by 4. We check in with Chris Myers along the sideline. Chris.
Well, Sam, you talked about Leroy Selmon, the Hall of Famer for the Bucks, and how he'll be honored here at halftime. I was talking to him a few moments ago. His brother Dewey is here. Dewey Selmon, of course, the linebacker. And Leroy said, you know, tears came to our eyes as we came back and looked at these uniforms and these fans. He said, you have your own family, but being a part of this Bucks family is something very special. And at the time, he said, you want to be the start of something good, and you're never sure. But looking back on it, it was worth every moment, and he's glad that the organization has had this success, and of course hopes today that the Bucks can get their first win of the year.
And that team 30 years ago really came to life and really brought the town to life. Leroy Selmon, what a great defensive lineman, great rusher of the quarterback.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh, he was the anchor of the defense in the bad days when they lost 26 in a row, and then in the good days when they made the playoffs for the first time in 1979, and on to the Hall of Fame for a great guy and a great player.
Well, that's it. Great player, but a better person, which I think is, there's a lot to be said about that. I think you said it, the only Tampa Bay Buccaneer in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Spencer Havener, the tight end, picks up the bouncing kickoff and is brought down at the 34-yard line, and we've reached the end of the first half. But think about it, this Bucks team, 0-7, hanging in there with a Green Bay team that needs this game badly. End of halftime, 21-17, Green Bay leading it. Welcome back to Tampa. At halftime, Green Bay leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 21-17, but very special ceremonies here on the field at halftime. The 1979 Bucks team, the first to ever make the playoffs, honored here, but helping to honor the greatest of them all for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Hall of Famer Leroy Selmon, as his name is the first to go into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Ring of Honor. We'll be back in Tampa to start the second half. The Bucks and the Packers right after this. We are back in Tampa. The ceremony's concluding. The quarterback was Doug Williams of that 1979 team. And Leroy Selmon honored on the field, seeing his former teammates. What a special time for Leroy Selmon to see his name unveiled in the Ring of Honor. What a feeling that's got to be.
Yeah, really neat. You can tell all the fellas down there having a great time just being on the field. And heck, the Bucks are very competitive in this football game, which has been good to see. I think the quarterback, for the most part, has done a good job, and he's gotten some help. Got some help from his defense with a big interception, and of course, Geno Hayes with the block punt, and Rondé Barber returns it for a touchdown. They've given him the support, and he's done pretty good.
Now, Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, told us this was a dangerous game for the Packers because everybody expected the Packers to win.
Well, listen, they came down here last year. Yeah, the team's 0-7, of course, but on paper, the Bucks are a decent football team when you look at some of the talent they've got on the football field, and Green Bay knew coming down here wouldn't be easy. Sam, they got beat here last year.
Tramon Williams on the return. He dropped the ball, he picks it up, and he gets buried at the 3-yard line. Ahman Green had been returning earlier. This time was Tramon Williams. And we welcome those of you who earlier were watching the Arizona-Chicago game. Welcome to Tampa. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, and Chris Myers, where we've just started the second half. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers 0-7, trying to find a way to win their first game of the season. The Green Bay Packers start from their own 4-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdown passes in the first half, but the Bucs have hung in there. Ryan Grant and John Kuhn in the backfield. And it's Ryan Grant carrying. Gets a couple of yards on the play. And this is what happened in the first half. First time the Packers had the ball, Aaron Rodgers throwing the 74-yard touchdown pass to James Jones. And then it was Ryan Grant's running that led to another touchdown. And later it was a 32-yard touchdown pass to Donald Driver. But in between, the Bucs scored a couple of touchdowns. They blocked a punt, which was recovered by Rondé Barber, and he carried it in. 2nd and 8. Aaron Rodgers gets buried. It's in a safety. I think they're ruling he was just outside the end zone. They're putting the football just outside the end zone. Styles White with the sack.
Styles G. White with the sack. There he is. Now let's watch Aaron Rodgers' feet as Styles G comes inside, hits him, takes him down. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers' feet were on about the 6-inch line. And I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't get Raheem Morris, the head coach of the Bucs. But again, I think where he was hit, where contact started, and with the quarterback's feet being on about the 6-inch line, this is not going to end up being a safety. Okay, it's a momentum thing.
There's the challenge flag thrown by Raheem Morris, which is a good idea, I think. No, you know.
No, I would have looked up on the jumbotron myself.
The field that the quarterback was tackled in the end zone for a safety.
If I was Raheem, I'd have looked up on the jumbotron and made sure before I throw that challenge flag, because again, it's an impetus rule. It's the defensive player's impetus right there, hits him on about the 6-inch line, knocks him in the end zone. That'll be Green Bay ball.
The question for referee Pete Morelli is, where was the football when Aaron Rodgers was hit?
I think you're right. Again, the feet are in the field of play, but where is the ball? Is the ball on the backside of the plane in terms of being in the end zone? Hard to tell from that look.
Or did they push him back into the end zone?
See, because it's impetus. It's an impetus rule. Is where is the ball when he initially gets hit? If he gets hit there and the ball is in the field on the side of the goal line, that's not going to be a safety, because it's the impetus of the defensive player that pushed him into the end zone.
And again, let's remember this about all replays. The ruling on the field was he's outside the end zone and in the field of play, so they need totally conclusive evidence to overturn it.
Yep.
Tampa Bay will be charged with timeout.
And what he's saying there is that there was nothing that they could see to overturn the ruling on the field.
And again, it's the right call. It's the impetus of the defender, the momentum of the defender, pushing the offensive player, the quarterback Aaron Rodgers, out of the field of play and into the end zone. The initial contact from the defender, Sam, started on about the 6-inch line where the feet and the football were not in the end zone.
It was a sack, the 32nd sack given up by the Packers this season, most in the league. And here's 3rd and 13 for Green Bay. Officials confer here.
Clock at 13:42 since Tampa Bay was charged with timeout.
All right, game clock reset. With the challenge, the Bucs are charged with a timeout. And it was Styles G. White who got the sack. He has 2.5 sacks this season. Rodgers. Short to John Kuhn, the fullback, and he is hit hard at the 7-yard line, and the Packers will be forced to punt. Now that fan doesn't like it. He didn't like that. He's got the binoculars. He wanted to help the officials out. I think Chris Myers gave him those binoculars. Capanos, line drive punt. Clifton Smith from his own 42 across midfield. John Kuhn is there to ride him out of bounds. But the Bucs have great field position, trailing by only 4. Back in Tampa, where the Green Bay Packers need the defense to come up big here. They've given up 10 points in the game. The Bucs scored 7 on a blocked field goal punt, recovered and returned by Rondé Barber. Rolling is Josh Freeman, being chased by Aaron Campbell. His pass incomplete. For the Bucs, here's their scoring. That came after an interception by Albert Mack. The short touchdown pass to Derek Ward, who took it in. And then Jeremy Campanos blocked. The punt's blocked by Geno Hayes, recovered by Rondé Barber for a touchdown. There's a flag down on that last play downfield, and it's against the Packers. They spot the ball at the 43-yard line. Defensive holding was the call. And it's a first down at the 43. Graham and Clifton Smith in the backfield. That was grabbed by Smith. He stepped in front of the quarterback. He throws back. Now that was a lateral pass, and it goes out of bounds. That was a little too much razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, I think it was going to be a double pass myself. I thought they had somebody running down the sideline, and Freeman, if he caught it, was going to deliver it to Colston, who's going to go in and then up, or excuse me, Maurice Stovall, in and then out down the sideline, and Freeman just bad throw from Clifton Smith on the throwback. I like the way they've used Josh Freeman. I don't particularly care for that play in looking at it, Sam, but I think Greg Olsen has done a good job with him in terms of, he's got him throwing off his launch point, which is right in the middle of the pocket on the midline, but he's also rolled him out and had him reading half the field quite a bit in this game.
It was a loss of 6, 2nd and 16. Cadillac Williams gets a couple back before he's brought down. Nick Barnett in on the stop along with Clay Matthews. We check in along the sideline with Chris Myers. Chris.
Well, Sam, the breeze has picked up a little bit here. Mike McCarthy did say he's confident in his running game. He plans to run the ball more in the second half. Raheem Morris said he wants to put more pressure on Rodgers, and Freeman has shown him enough that they'll take shots downfield. And keeping with the 70s throwback theme, there was a streaker running around here at the half, quickly apprehended by the police. He was not wearing a tie, Sam.
Thank you, Chris. Boy, is he on the case. 3rd and 13. Freeman gets plenty of time, and he goes deep for Clayton, overthrown. Covered by Jarrett Bush. And the pass a little too far. Freeman knows he had him. Just a little overthrown. So the Bucs fail to capitalize.
Good post route by Michael Clayton here. He's going to safety to man coverage on an out route, which opened up the middle of the field. Clayton was open. Freeman just overthrows it. Look, the wind's not a problem for Josh Freeman. That dude grew up in Kansas throwing the football. He can throw in the wind.
4th punt of the game for Dirk Johnson. Lamont Williams is deep. That's a good high kick. The wind's carrying it, though, and it carries it into the end zone for a touchback. Needed to go for the sideline. It was straight down the middle. We don't have any video from Chris Myers on the Streaker Report, but we'll be right back. The men of the military in attendance today and introduced to the crowd with rousing cheers. What are the soldiers? Really enjoying the time down there. Now the Packers' last 3 possessions have been 3 and out. Ryan Grant carrying. Bouncing off one man, gets up to the 27-yard line. Mark Tauscher, who started the game, apparently has re-injured his knee and has gone to the sideline. And Alan Barber is in at right tackle, replacing him. Barber, third-year man out of Missouri Southern State, had started the first 7 games for the Packers. Grant and Kuhn in the backfield on 2nd and 3. Grant again, cutting it back. He's got a first down. Protects the ball well as the Bucs were going for it. Good job of Ryan Grant of holding on.
And I think this is the time, if you're the Green Bay Packers, that you're going to have to start to lean on that running game a little bit. And as much as they love to throw the ball, and I know Aaron Rodgers loves the 3 wide receiver stuff, Denard Jackson a little shaken up on the play. But you know, as the weather changes and they get into the meat of their schedule and start playing some cold weather games, they're going to need to be better at the point of attack on the offensive line. Losing that guy won't help, Mark Tauscher, who just gets back in the lineup today. And they're going to have to pound the rock. You have to get better and more effective. And again, I think a big part of that, Sam, has been the pre-snap penalties and all the holding penalties and all the long distance, down and distance situations. But they got to clean it up in the offensive line and get that running game juiced up for the stretch here in the second half of the season.
Corey Lynch replaces Denard Jackson in the secondary for the Bucs. Off the play fake, Rodgers being pressured, down he goes. The rookie Michael Bennett getting a lot of playing time now. He was picked up on waivers from Seattle, and it's the second sack of the game for Tampa Bay.
And here he is, and he flashed a couple of weeks ago in that game against New England. Look what he does to Donald Lee. He just abuses him, picks him up, and throws him about 3 yards into the backfield, falls back inside and gets a nice sack.
The Bucs have worked the waiver wires. They have retooled. They've brought in some young defensive linemen. Spencer Havner, the tight end, is split out wide left. Empty backfield for the Packers. Rodgers gets time and completes it to Donald Driver. Up to the 37-yard line. Let's find out what the Dolphins in New England are doing and go back to Chris Rose.
Sam, here's a completed pass for a touchdown by the running back Ronnie Brown. His second career TD toss, that to Joey Hanos. Wrapped up a 10-minute, 9-second drive, and the Dolphins have a 1-point lead on the Pats. Back to Sam, Tim, and Chris.
That's a wild race in the AFC East. Thank you, Chris. New England on top, with Miami after a real bad start coming on. Brandon Jackson in the backfield. On 3rd and 4. Rodgers puts it up, and a great adjustment and catch by Greg Jennings. First down at the Bucs' 43-yard line. He was matched up with Aqib Talib, and he made a great catch.
Well, and a great job by Aaron Rodgers identifying the blitz and then throwing the backdoor fade. I mean, you can't execute it any better. That is outstanding coverage by Talib. But Aaron Rodgers, who sees the blitz coming, knows that he's going to throw that back shoulder to Greg Jennings, and it's just perfectly executed. And that's, you know, I'll say it every week. A great throw will beat good coverage every time. That was a great throw.
21-yard pickup. And Grant back in the backfield. Off the play fake, Rodgers wants to go deep. Here it is, a lot of coverage, and it's intercepted. Aqib Talib has it, gets knocked down by Donald Driver. The pass intended for Greg Jennings, well covered, and the ball popped in the air, and Aqib Talib with his 5th interception of the season.
And I think it was Corey Lynch, 41, one of those young guys that's going to get the tip. That ball comes down and hits him. Karam's up in the air. Talib picks it off. Interception number 5.
Driver really popped Aqib Talib on the return, but Talib is okay after remaining on the ground for a little while. Big smile on the sideline.
He's got his bell rung a little bit. 5 picks in the last 5 games. Bad throw, though, from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, there was 3 defenders. He's trying to force it into Greg Jennings. Bad decision.
2 tight ends in. Freeman hands to Cadillac Williams. No gain on the play. Maybe half a yard. Now, Aaron Rodgers had just 2 interceptions in the first 7 games. He's thrown 2 picks today. So a good job by the Bucs. They've come up with some big plays. There's Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you know, you talk about Aaron Rodgers. How about his counterpart, Josh Freeman, who I think is playing pretty well. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His completion percentage doesn't look great, but he's done very good in terms of his pocket presence and delivering the football, in particular, down the middle of the field.
Cadillac Williams, Jeremy Stevens, a good block. Aaron Campman came off the block to make the tackle at the 25-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Bucs. Campman, we talked about him earlier, making the adjustment from a down defensive end to a stand-up linebacker.
Well, here Jeremy Stevens is going to block him, and that's where Aaron Campman said he has the most trouble, trying to work and keep your outside leverage from a two-point stance. And you could see there just from his body language that he was losing that battle for a second and then fought himself back across the face of Jeremy Stevens. Did a great job of recovering and then shedding him and getting in on the tackle.
Ernest Graham in at fullback. The play fake. Freeman throws short and it's dropped, incomplete. Intended for Ernest Graham. So the play fake and the decision to put it up doesn't work for Tampa Bay, and the Bucs will have to punt.
Well, I love the call. I thought it was a great call by Greg Olsen. I mean, you got a fullback against Aaron Campman in coverage. We already saw him beat Campman for the touchdown in coverage. That's not what he's accustomed to doing, so you put your fullback on him. It's the right play call, bad execution. Got to catch the football.
Fifth punt of the game for Dirk Johnson. Good kick. Backs up Tremont Williams to the 19. Ridden out of bounds by Nico Kudavidas. Kudavidas was shaken up earlier. He's fine, and he leads the special teams coverage. Packers on offense when we come back.
On the Tampa Bay sideline, Josh Freeman, the rookie, was told by his coordinator, Greg Olsen, who's sitting next to him, hey, during the breaks, don't go talk to the receivers or the guys who say, get me the football. Just go over the game plan and keep your focus. He's been walking around, talking to everybody he can, Sam and Tim.
Thanks, Chris. From the 31-yard line, Rodgers on the draw play, and that nets nothing. Good job up front by the Bucs. Maybe give Ryan Grant a yard on the play up to the 32. Chris Hovan with the tackle. Chris Hovan in his 10th year, and he has really accepted the leadership role of the veteran defensive player, hasn't he, Tim?
He absolutely has, and he is the bell cow of that group, and he knows it for the guys up front. He's a first-round pick in Minnesota. To me, there's not a better defensive lineman in the league in terms of football intelligence when you talk to him and his understanding of the game and what's coming at him in terms of the blocking scheme.
The tight end Haber shifts into the backfield as a fullback and leads the blocking. Ryan Grant with a good run, the first down up to the 42-yard line. 10-yard pickup for Ryan Grant, who's having himself a good game. 15 carries, 80 yards. Averaging over 5 yards per carry.
Well, and here Chris Hovan is going to get walled off. He's going to try to squeeze. Barrett Ruud's got to get into that A-gap and make the tackle. And he just undercuts it a little bit and gets blocked. You see a nice broken tackle there by Ryan Grant for the first down.
The rookie Finn Johnson in at fullback for the Packers. Leads Grant, but Grant couldn't get to the corner. Geno Hayes, who's got great speed. We've seen him burst through. We saw him have a couple of big games earlier this season with that great speed. He just caught him from behind.
Well, and this is where I think he's at his best. When you run away from him, he's a weak side linebacker, and that's, you know, the will backer in a four-man front is the guy that's going to be the run and hit guy that can get over the top and really run, and that's what he does. You watch him. He sees it, boom, just going to go get right into that crease. You love that. I mean, he's able to key it, understand the keys, diagnose what the play is, and then has the ability, Sam, to go finish. That's a nice play.
3 wide receivers. They split the tight end, Donald Lee, as well. Rodgers goes outside, completes the lead, and a short pickup up to the 43-yard line. Put the Packers in the 3rd and long. Torrey Cox made the tackle on Donald Lee.
Gain of 4. 3rd down.
The Packers still without Jermichael Finley, their #1 receiving tight end, who they hope has a chance to make it back for next week's game against Dallas. Probably more likely the game the following week against San Francisco. Here's 3rd and 8. 3 wide receivers with driver motion. Rodgers, as he was falling down, tried to hit Donald Driver, and the pass incomplete. Rondé Barber, who's been on Donald Driver all game. Quincy Black with help. And Rodgers just felt pressure right at the end and was kind of leaning back and falling backwards as he threw the ball.
Yeah, Styles G. White has been getting after it now for about the last quarter and a half and winning that matchup against Chad Clifton. That was him bringing the pressure on Rodgers.
0-7 Bucks. Jeremy Capanos, who had one blocked earlier, gets it away. Good high kick. Fair catch called for by Clifton Smith at the 11-yard line. The Packers in this stadium have lost 6 out of 7. Their only win was November 16, 2003. Brett Favre had a broken thumb coming into that game, and he passed for only 92 yards. But Tony Fisher took that little shovel pass and took it in. That was answered back by the Bucks, and then the run by Amon Green in the fourth quarter won it for Green Bay, 20-13. Their only win in 7 tries in this stadium.
It came down here last year, and 30-21, they walked out a loser with a hurt quarterback.
That's right. Aaron Rodgers sprained his shoulder.
That was the most pain he's ever been in on a football field. Last year down here playing these Tampa Bay Bucks.
Derek Ward and Ernest Graham in the backfield. Bucks start from their 11. Off the play fake. Freeman. Nobody open. And he runs for it. And slides. Got run over by A.J. Hawk. But he's down at the 16-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play.
Tackled by A.J. Hawk.
You know what I know? I know guys like Jeff Garcia that were here for a long time and wearing number 5, and I thought Jeff was a real good quarterback here. He's going crazy right now, sitting at home, watching a 260-pound quarterback slide. Now, it's obviously the right thing to do. Garcia had never done that in a million years.
I know, you're right. How do you know he's going crazy?
Because I know him.
Derek Ward got it back. He ran into Big John Jolly just short of the 20-yard line. It should be a 3rd and 2. Late in the third quarter, and the Bucks hanging in there. Defensive signals being sent in from the sideline. Bucks have been 3 and out on their previous 2 possessions. Sammy Stroughter in as a 3rd wide receiver. Winslow shifts. Freeman throws, and it's batted away. Jarrett Bush with a good play. The pass intended for Sammy Stroughter. And the Packers defense has come up big here in the third quarter.
Well, that's a late throw from the quarterback, Josh Freeman. You're going to throw an out route like that and probably benefit from the fact that it was Jarrett Bush and not Charles Woodson or Al Harris, because that ball was thrown late, which gave the defender, Jarrett Bush, time to turn the juice on and close the gap and get a bat down.
And speaking of Charles Woodson, he's done a great job on Kellen Winslow. He's covered him throughout the game. Dirk Johnson's punt. Tramon Williams from the 38. Trying to pick up a block or 2. Reverses. And the Bucks have him. A lot of running for Tramon Williams, but no yardage on the return. Next week, it's a big doubleheader day on Fox. Lions and Vikings, Bucks at the Dolphins, Saints and Rams, Falcons and Panthers. The big second game, Dallas Cowboys at the Green Bay Packers. It all starts with the Ford Drive 1 Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And the guys will be back from Afghanistan and back in the studio in L.A. From the 38.
Got to keep Glaze in the fatigues, though, for the rest of the year.
You like that look, huh?
Not really.
Grant and Kuhn in the backfield. They shift Havener, the tight end, off the play fake. Rodgers gets plenty of time and finally finds Donald Driver on the sideline. Rondé Barber pushes him out. Barber upset with something. Maybe he felt Driver pushed off on him.
I think that's exactly right, because he was turning around yelling at the side judge that you gotta help me out here.
First down, Green Bay.
Driver picks up 16 on the play.
Well, and Aaron Rodgers holds this one. Watch the sack clock down the left corner. You want it out at 3. He's going to get it out at about 5. And still able to make a play. Good job by Donald Driver coming back to the football.
2 tight ends in for the Packers. Havener, one of them shifts. Bucks 47. Ryan Grant turns the corner and was taken out. Good play by Savvy Piscatelli. He closed quickly. And what looked like some running room for Ryan Grant shut down right away.
Now that's what Sabby can do. You know, Sabby Piscatelli played this, two-match or quarter scheme that Jim Bates runs. He ran it at Oregon State. And he said he feels like, at least mentally, and it hasn't been easy for any of these guys, and I think that's been their biggest thing, is the communication and the mental breakdowns. But Sabby did feel like, at least from the neck up, he had somewhat of an advantage, Sam, under this Jim Bates, under this scheme, because he had played it before and was familiar with it from Oregon State.
3 wide receivers in. Amon Green in the backfield, takes the handoff. Good run by Amon Green. And he is ridden down from behind by Barrett Ruud, but he gets down to the 18-yard line.
I think Geno Hayes has got to spill this thing, which means he's got to take it with his outside shoulder and force it to run. It's just a quick trap. And watch what shoulder he takes it on with. Outside shoulder, cuts it right up. Barrett Ruud was playing the outside leverage, thinking that Geno Hayes was going to spill it. Took it on with the wrong shoulder, and Amon Green goes north and south in a hurry.
26-yard run for Amon Green. He is 14 yards away from becoming the all-time leading rusher in Packers history. End of the third quarter, Green Bay leading. Welcome back to Tampa. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers, glad you're with us. As the Packers start from the Bucs 18, start the fourth quarter from the 18 with Amon Green staying in there at running back. Play fake by Rodgers, rolling and looking, and being pressured by Quincy Black, he throws it away. Rodgers moving pretty good on 2 sore feet.
Yeah, and it looks like he got up a little gimpy there. What a great job by Barrett Ruud, the middle linebacker. I think Sam is one of the best pass-defending linebackers in pro football. Watch him here. He knows when the boot comes, he'll have a crossing route coming behind it. Now watch how he's what you call hunted up. He's looking right there. He's going to follow Havener the whole way. They call that hunting up a guy or looking for work. There's nobody better at it in the game in defending the pass from the Mike linebacker spot, middle linebacker, than Barrett Ruud.
3 wide receivers. Donald Lee, the tight end, motions. On 2nd and 10. Rodgers throws short, drop by Amon Green. Looks like he wanted to grab it and run quickly and forgot to catch the ball. Amon Green right behind the great Jim Taylor in rushing yardage as a Green Bay Packer. He left the Packers after 7 great seasons, went to Houston, had a lot of injuries in 2 years in Houston, and then just recently re-signed. He asked the Packers. He kept coming around saying, let me work out for you, and they did re-sign him. Brandon Jackson's in now on 3rd and 10. Rodgers flushed out of the pocket, looking, throwing short, completes it to James Jones. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 7-yard line. And that'll be a first down. Nice play by Jones.
Nice play by Aaron Rodgers as well, getting out of traffic, because Jimmy Wilkerson had some pretty good pressure coming from his left end spot. That was what I was talking about. Same thing with Barrett Ruud just a couple of plays ago, and doing a great job of knowing that crossing route was coming behind him. There was another example of it with Geno Hayes, really kind of in the same predicament, and was not able to hunt up the crossing route, and James Jones soon enough and got torched for a first down.
Ryan Grant, who has a rushing touchdown, is back in the backfield. 1st and goal, Packers. Grant tripped up. Nice tackle on the play by Tenard Jackson, the safety, coming up to make a good play.
Terrific play, and here he is right here, and just as a run blitz, he's just going to come shoot the gap. Watch, he's going to start buzzing up. Bam! Just knocks that out right at the line of scrimmage.
The Bucs have Michael Bennett and Tim Crowder on the defensive line. Byron Ely is in at wide receiver. The sign from the practice squad, 4 wide receivers for the Packers. Rodgers, nobody open, and they've got him. He is wrestled down by Roy Miller, another rookie defensive lineman. 3rd sack of the game for the Bucs. Nobody open.
Well, nobody to defend, because you got 3 defenders out here on 2 receivers. They do a pretty good job running a little stick on the slot guy, and then watch Roy Miller, who's going to get inside of Darren College and then beat Scott Wells for the sack. And they like this guy. I mean, we were talking to Hovan about Roy Miller. He said he's going to have a, obviously depending on health, but a 10-year career in front of him. Short, quick, and thick, just the way they like him here in Tampa up front.
3rd and goal from the 12, and one of the officials comes in. The Bucs had called a timeout. Check the personnel on the field with the Packers threatening. What's this? Raheem all tangled up here on the sideline.
Can we get him a wireless headset for Christmas? He's trying to coach a football game. He can't be all tangled up.
3rd and goal from the 12. 6 defensive backs for the Bucs. Rodgers steps up, and you've got room to run. Inside the 5, he takes it in. The Bucs dropped off in coverage and left it wide open, and Aaron Rodgers finally decided, you know what, there's too much room to wait.
And I believe that's the first time all year that they have taken a sack on a drive and then been able to finish the drive with a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers made up for that sack himself.
2nd rushing touchdown of the season for Aaron Rodgers. That is Styles G. White getting up slowly and hurting.
Here's Greg White here. You got Jimmy Wilkerson drops back in coverage, and now it's just him and Aaron Rodgers in the open field, and Aaron just jukes him out of his shoes. Jimmy's got to watch the belt buckle there. He's spying the quarterback. He's coming out of his defensive tackle position, dropping into coverage, and really ends up being the secondary contain guy or spy guy on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron saw the mismatch in the open field, threw a little juke on him, and punched it in for a touchdown.
And Styles G. White goes off with a little limp for Aaron Rodgers. Big touchdown for the Packers, as it gives them some breathing room. Not that Mike McCarthy is happy with the closeness of this game. And here is Mason Crosby for the extra point. 9-play, 62-yard drive for the Packers. Ends with a 12-yard touchdown run by Aaron Rodgers. Known for his passing, but he's quite an athlete. He ran it in, and he can celebrate. Aaron Rodgers coming up with a big play on 3rd down and goal, a 12-yard run. Nobody open. That was well covered. How about this one? First time that the Packers have scored a touchdown this season when they've allowed a sack on that drive. Mason Crosby kicks it off. Clifton Smith from the goal line. Finds a lane. Good return for Smith. Missed by the kicker. Cuts in and stays on his feet. And finally they catch up and take him down. Great return by Clifton Smith to the Packers 17-yard line. 83-yard return. The Packers got burned on kickoff returns last week by Minnesota, and here Clifton Smith with a big return.
Yeah, and look at the block right there on Jarrett Bush. That ended up being the block. It was Corey Lynch, number 41, that was able to kick Jarrett Bush down inside, and then Clifton Smith, who is very, very good at returning kicks, off to the races, and some good angles by the Packers, but Clifton Smith, as clever and as creative as he is, was able to squeeze about 15 extra yards out of that return.
Matt Giordano caught up to take him down, but here are the Bucs. From the 17, Freeman with time, throwing short to Derek Ward. Ward, who scored earlier, takes it down to the 7-yard line. Looks like he's got just enough for a first down.
And Aaron Campman in coverage again. And people have done it this year, and they're doing it today. We saw Campman get beat with a touchdown. We saw him go after him on a big 3rd down. Campman is all the way out of your screen out here. He's at the 2nd level, and he's dropping to the hook. He's dropping hook to flat. And all that happens is Derek Ward goes out there and just cuts right off of him, gets to his outside, and cuts to the outside. And Campman is having trouble in coverage. And I can't blame him. I mean, that guy is a finely tuned athlete to be a defensive end. Not an outside linebacker, Sam, that drops into coverage.
2 tight ends, Kellen Winslow and John Gilmore. 1st and goal from the 7. Off the play fake. Freeman looking, throwing, and it's deflected away. Intended for Brian Clark. Charles Woodson got the hand on it. And it looked like Clark had a little bit of a lead on Woodson here.
He did, and the ball was thrown behind him. And you see here, I mean, there's the ball is just, and I know that Josh Freeman saw Nick Collins coming over from the safety position and didn't want to lead Brian Clark that much, but certainly did not get the ball out in front of him just enough to where Woodson could not get the pass breakup. Good play by Charles.
Derek Ward and Ernest Graham in the backfield with Josh Freeman. Freeman has time. Nobody open, and he's running for it. Decides to throw, and it's caught by Kellen Winslow for a touchdown. Just before he got to the line of scrimmage, Freeman saw Winslow deep in the end zone and got it to him.
Very, very impressed with his awareness on the field. His pocket awareness today, escaping from traffic, and then right here, I mean, just being 1 yard, if that, behind the line of scrimmage, and delivers a strike and a good safe ball. High ball on the back end line to Kellen Winslow, and Winslow climbs the ladder to go get it.
And the Bucs will go for 2 to try to make it a 3-point game. Bucs are 0 for 1 in 2-point conversion tries this season. Have 2 tight ends in. Send everybody out. Freeman looking, throwing, and it is complete. No, it was knocked away. I thought he had it on the goal line, and it was knocked away. Winslow, the intended receiver, and the 2-point conversion fails. Winslow comes back. That was the touchdown pass. Back in Tampa, here's another look at the touchdown pass.
Impressed watching him throw off the run. I mean, he was back against his body there, running to his left, throwing to his right. For a big guy, he's got absolute control of that big frame. From his feet to his arm. I've been impressed with him on the move today.
Amon Green is back deep to receive the kickoff. 2 touchdown passes for Josh Freeman in the game. Bucs have come up with big plays to lead them to scores. They had the interception that led to a touchdown. They had the blocked punt that was recovered and taken in for a touchdown. And then the kickoff return by Clifton Smith that set up the 3rd touchdown.
And we said it coming into the game today, and Josh Freeman knew it. He knew he was going to have to get support and get help from his football team, and he's gotten it. And you mentioned the reasons and the way how he's gotten it. The defense has chipped in. The special teams has chipped in. It's been a good job all the way around.
Connor Barth to kick it off. Good kick. Over the head of Amon Green. The wind, which swirls down on the field, they've helped that along. January is coming, and that means our Bowl Bash on Fox comes along with it. The All-State Sugar Bowl, the AT&T Cotton Bowl, the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, and the FedEx Orange Bowl. It's all on Fox. The Bowl Bash brings you college football's biggest games, January on Fox. And on the post-game show, brought to you by AT&T, we'll have the new BCS standings.
Iowa took a fall this weekend, didn't
Yes, they did. And Penn State lost to Ohio State. 2 fullbacks in, Kuhn and Johnson. The ball carried by Ryan Grant. Good hole. And a nice ankle tackle on the play by Tim Crowder. 3rd-year man out of Texas. The Bucs defense. It's a lot of points given up.
And it's all been the big plays.
Yeah.
The big plays have absolutely crushed them. There's a big part of me, and I've been so used to watching him play such good defense for so long. I'd like to see him get back to some of the old zone stuff. Keep it all in front of you and just come up and rally up and make tackles. Big plays have been a major problem.
2nd and 4, Ryan Grant. That's a 1st down. Grant running hard. He got a little rest on the last series, but Amon Green came in, and he looks pretty fresh. The guy who's always fresh is Chris Myers.
Well, Sam, Mike McCarthy said there are 4 or 5 plays our quarterback needs to make with his feet during this game. And again, Aaron Rodgers, because of a toe and foot injury, has a steel plate orthotic in each of his shoes. But even old Leadfoot, after that touchdown run, inspired the team. And again, this is where he thinks he has an edge because of his conditioning even late in the game.
Well, we talked about that earlier, Chris. You're right. Haefner, the second tight end, shifts. Ryan Grant closing in on 100 yards. Gets up to the 36-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play. He's got 21 carries for 96 yards, does Ryan Grant.
And look, as much as Brett Favre was revered and respected and everything else for all the great years in Green Bay, and no doubt they were, they love this guy. The players, the coaches, just Aaron Rodgers as a teammate, Sam, and listening to the guys that play with him say he's just one of the guys. He's hanging out. He's always with the fellas. He's going out with the fellas. Just really appreciate that relationship, that camaraderie they have with Aaron Rodgers.
Amon Green in at tailback on the carry. And Green fights his way up across the 45-yard line. Good run by Amon Green.
He has got some power now. Now watch, Tenard Jackson is coming from this side of your screen to the left. He's going to come over to the right, and watch, he's going to try just to deliver a shot. Broken tackle, 1, 2, 3, bam! And look at him just bounce.
9-yard pickup
off of Amon Green.
And he is 5 yards away from becoming the all-time leading rusher for the Green Bay Packers. He stays in. And he carries a couple of yards up to the 48-yard line. Now, once again, the Packers with the lead, 5-point lead, controlling the football and using the ground game.
This is where they'll need the ground game, and this is where they'll need the ground game as the season goes on. We talked about it earlier when the weather changes and starts to get cold, and they're absolutely going to need production from Amon Green and the backup running back. And frankly, it's been far too few and far in between with the production they've gotten out of that guy.
Packers have rushed for 168 yards in the game. Amon Green, 43. And John Kuhn in the backfield. Here's Amon Green falling forward to midfield. And he's spotted just short of the midfield line. It'll bring up a 3rd and about 5. It's very close. He's coming to the sideline. They have given him credit for 2 yards. He has 45 yards, and with that run, he is now the Green Bay Packers' all-time leading rusher. How about that?
How about the first guy congratulating him, Edgar Bennett, his running back coach, who was also a terrific back with the Packers.
Brandon Jackson in the backfield. 3rd and 5. Rodgers throws high for Spencer Haefner. There was late pressure, and from Styles White. Well, you think about one of the greats, there he is. Look at that face. That's the face of a football player, one of the toughest to ever play the game. Jimmy Taylor, he was a rock. You hit him, and you bounced off. Jimmy Taylor, what a great running back. The championship years of the Green Bay Packers in 61 and 62. He was something special. And now Amon Green has passed it. On the return, Clifton Smith got tripped up. That's a big tackle by John Kuhn. A one-hand tackle. Amon Green, he's on top of the running record. So how about this? The Bucs 5 points away, and Josh Freeman, in his first NFL start, a chance to be a hero here. If he can lead his team down to it for a touchdown. Cadillac Williams in the backfield. And they shift.
In and out. What you got? In and out. Box.
2 tight ends. Freeman throwing for Winslow, and he holds on. Beautiful catch by Kellen Winslow. He's out of bounds at the 49-yard line.
That is a big-time throw from Josh Freeman. You got to love the kid's poise right now. I mean, he is very poised. He's not even at 50% completion percentage, but he sees this cover 2. He sees right where that soft spot's going to be behind the corner and on the outside of the safety, and delivers Sam an absolutely perfect throw with just enough velocity.
And that time Charles Woodson wasn't on him. Ball spotted at midfield. Motion Sammy Strawder. They pick up the blitz and Freeman throws, and it's intercepted by A.J. Hawk. There's a flag down in the Green Bay secondary. This will be a huge call.
Illegal contact, number 50 of the defense. 5-yard penalty automatic. First down.
Let's see what A.J. Hawk did. But contact down the field.
There's A.J. Hawk there, number 50. Yeah, Kellen Winslow. He needed to walk Kellen Winslow off from coming back inside, and he lost that inside leverage and had to grab him. He ends up coming up with the interception, and boy, Freeman lucks out there because he was playing with fire. You roll into your right, back across your body, and laid over the middle. Those are like 3 cardinal sins of quarterback play, but he gets away with one because of the foul before the throw from A.J. Hawk.
You can see it written on the face of Mike McCarthy. These are very nervous moments for the Packers. Quick out to Sammy Strawder. And he's brought down at the 43-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play.
Well, he's got to break that to the outside. Michael Clayton had an outstanding block, sealing down the defender. Clayton caught that, just that quick little hitch. Clayton had the guy all sealed up. And then Strawder cut back inside to where all the defenders were.
They go with 2 tight ends, Winslow and Stevens, Clayton and Stovall, the wideouts, and Cadillac Williams in the backfield. Freeman gets plenty of time. The pass deflected away. Intended for Maurice Stovall, and Al Harris stepped up to break it up.
Yeah, and he's telling the quarterback, you better be careful. Don't try that with me. You don't try that, kid. Come on, Rook.
Al Harris, I've been in the league 12 years.
Well, in bad location from the quarterback. That ball's got to be to the outside of Maurice Stovall. And it wasn't. I mean, it was to the inside shoulder, and he's very, very lucky, Freeman, that Al Harris didn't pick that off.
I'm wondering if the wind might be affecting a throw like that. I'm not sure. There is a lot of wind out on the field. 3 wide receivers in. Brian Clark in as the third. 3rd and 7. Freeman, big rush. Puts it up deep. Great adjustment by Clayton, who makes the catch at the 13-yard line. And that time it was Al Harris who got fooled on the play, but Clayton makes a great play.
Well, and it starts with a good block. Watch Carnell Williams. Here comes the blitz. They're able to pick it up just long enough. Cadillac gets a nice block right there on Charles Woodson. And then Clayton's adjustment on the ball. Good to see him make a play because, and I think the wind did affect that one, and it pulled the ball up and brought it back. Clayton able to adjust and get under Al Harris, what ended up being a terrific, terrific catch.
29-yard pickup. 2 tight ends in. From the 13, Williams. Nice little cutback. Gets down to the 7-yard line. He picked up 6 on the play. A.J. Hawk made the tackle on Cadillac Williams.
You know, no matter how this turns out, you got to be happy with Josh Freeman if you're a Tampa Bay fan in the future. I mean, I think this drive is a microcosm of him being young, but at the same time having a lot of upside, because you've seen some ugly plays in this game on that drive and this drive included, but you've also seen some real highlights, Sam, when he's able to extend plays and make plays.
It's going to be his team. 2nd and 4 from the 7. Freeman swings it out to Cadillac Williams. Never got a handle on it. It's incomplete. Nick Barnett got a piece of Cadillac Williams to help break up the play. It brings up a 3rd and 4 from the Packers' 7-yard line. Aaron Campman has gone to the sideline. We're told he's suffered a head injury, and Brady Papinga, number 51, has replaced him. 2 tight ends, Kellen Winslow and Jeremy Stevens. Cadillac Williams in the backfield. Freeman with time, throws, and the catch made, then dropped and incomplete. Would have been incomplete. Clayton with a good effort when was falling over the end line. So now what do? Do you take 3 and hope you get the ball back, or do you go for it on 4th down?
Ooh,
I say go for 3.
yeah, I say you kick the field goal and go play some defense. Absolutely. And we've seen Raheem Morris pass up points more than once this year with this team that has yet to win a football game.
He's going for it. They can make a 1st down at the 3-yard line. 4th and 4. Clayton, Straughter, and Clark, 3 wide receivers. Freeman, pump fake, throwing deep. Touchdown, Sammy Straughter! What do we know? The coach knows better.
Well, he's got confidence in both of those guys. Sammy Straughter targeted a lot, and when you look at Straughter last week, he came up with some big catches, has had none bigger in his pro career than that one, and a terrific job by Freeman on the pump fake and just having Jarrett Bush bite on it and then throws a perfect laser to the corner of the end zone for Straughter.
First NFL receiving touchdown for Sammy Straughter. They go for 2 to try and make it a 3-point lead. Freeman. Plenty of time, nobody open. Now he throws. He's got a man. Michael Clayton. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a 31-28 lead. And Josh Freeman delivered.
Unbelievable.
The 21-year-old quarterback came through. The head coach congratulates the wide receiver, but the 21-year-old quarterback in his first NFL start has come up with some big plays.
You got to love the resiliency of him, right? And even the resiliency of Clayton, too, who has not particularly had a good year. This drive for Michael Clayton has been outstanding.
We welcome those of you who've just been watching Washington and Atlanta. Atlanta winning 31-17. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers here in Tampa, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have just marched down the field and scored a go-ahead touchdown led by their first-round draft pick and rookie quarterback Josh Freeman, who on a 4th and 4 threw a touchdown pass to Sammy Straughter, and they completed a 2-point conversion and lead by 3. First time the Bucs have led in the game. The kickoff by Barth is through the end zone.
I can't tell you how much we've seen Josh Freeman grow up today. His first start, look at the jitters he had early. Takes a sack, ugly sack, out of the pocket. He fumbles a snap early in the game, was not off to a good start. Bad decision to make a throw there, picked off, and then now he figures it out. Touchdown, Derek Ward. He comes back, touchdown, Kellen Winslow. And then moments ago, he delivers a perfect ball to Sammy Straughter in the corner of the end zone. And then here's the 2-point conversion. Now, this is the touchdown, to Straughter. And then he comes back and gets a 2-point conversion. Just, again, pocket awareness, confidence in the pocket, and is able to hit Clayton to get it up 3.
And now it's Aaron Rodgers' turn with 3 timeouts for the Packers. In his pocket, he's being rushed, and they got him. 4th sack of the game for the Bucs. Ryan Sims, the big defensive tackle. And once he wraps you up, you're done.
Here's the big fella right here. He's on Josh Sitton. Ryan Sims. Now that's just a bull rush, and then he's able to come off of it. Hovan forces Aaron Rodgers up in the pocket. Look at Chris Hovan coming from the outside. Aaron Rodgers has to step up, and Ryan Sims is there for the takedown.
2nd and 17. Rodgers being pressured again. Short to James Jones. And he gets up to the 25-yard line. They'll mark it at the 24. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers with their rookie head coach Raheem Morris, 0-7 coming into this game. They're coming off a bye week after a big loss in London to the New England Patriots. They haven't played a close game since opening day. Ryan Grant in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. 3rd and 6 for the Packers. Rodgers with time. Nobody open. Flag on the play. He gets the first down yardage. But let's check out the flag in the backfield. It's going to be holding on College.
Absolutely.
73 offense.
And it's on Chris Hovan.
10-yard penalty remains straight down.
Darren College, the left guard, called for the hold on Chris Hovan.
And Chris Hovan was on his way to a sack. Here's Hovan here. He's going to come up and press the inside gap. You see there, and now watch as he's going to the quarterback. There's the hold. And Darren College tried to pull his hands away at the last second. I didn't do anything. But right there in front of Peter Morelli, he's going to call that one every time.
Sacks have been a big bugaboo for the Packers this season. A 4-3 team. They've given up 4 sacks in the game. They have to get to the 30 for a first down.
And remember this, Sam, they've scored 1 time this year on a drive in which they've taken a sack, and that was in this game.
Rodgers looking, rolling, waving, nobody open. And he is down. He was down, I believe. That's where they're going to spot him at the 14-yard line. He tried a desperation pass as he went down, but the Packers are forced to punt. And that's what you were mentioning. For Green Bay, they've only scored 1 touchdown this season in a drive in which they've given up a sack.
And that's 36 sacks on the season that group has given up.
Clifton Smith on the return from the 41. Still going. Gets to the sideline, out of bounds at the Green Bay 40. Clifton Smith, who had an 83-yard kickoff return earlier to set up a touchdown, has a 19-yard return here. And the Bucs have the ball at the Green Bay 40. Wow. Next week, NFL on Fox. There are more great games we've got for you. It's a doubleheader week. The Lions and the Vikings in a big matchup. The Bucs will be at Miami. The Saints will be in St. Louis. And the Falcons take on the Panthers. Second game, Dallas at Green Bay. That's a good one. And it all begins with a Ford Drive 1 Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have lost 11 games in a row dating back to last season, looking for their first win this year. Cadillac Williams, Ernest Graham in the backfield. It's Cadillac. And still fighting. They hit him at the line of scrimmage. He kept the legs moving, gets a 4-yard gain on the play. 2 minutes to go, 4th quarter, and the Bucs have a 3-point lead. And we welcome everyone from around the country, the different games you've been watching. Welcome to Tampa. Sam Rosen, Tim Ryan, Chris Myers, and we have had one whale of a game. 2 minutes remaining, and the winless Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead the 4-3 Green Bay Packers 31-28 and have the ball at the Packers' 36-yard line. 2nd and 6. And Freeman dropped it, picked it up, gets it to Cadillac Williams, and he's wrestled down. He got a 2-yard gain on what could have been a disaster for the Bucs.
Yeah, and we've seen him. He lost a fumble earlier in the center quarterback exchange problem.
That's Josh Freeman, the first-round draft pick in his first NFL start, and he has brought his team from behind. They were down by 11, and he brought them back. When they were down 5, he threw a couple of touchdown passes in this second half. That was the 2-point conversion, following a touchdown pass to Sammy Stroughter, which gave the Bucs the lead. The Packers with their usual 383 yards total offense. However, Aaron Rodgers has been sacked 4 times and thrown 2 interceptions.
And you can see there that Josh Freeman has had some help. I mean, the special teams have come through. Clifton Smith had a big return. Rondé Barber, after Geno Hayes blocked a punt early in the game, Rondé Barber picked it up and ran in the end zone for a touchdown.
3rd and 4, they keep it on the ground. Cadillac Williams down to the 31, a yard short of the first down. The ball popped loose, but it's ruled down.
Tough decision here now for Raheem Morris.
The Packers have used their 2nd timeout. The rookie head coach looking for his first win, Raheem Morris.
This is going to be 3rd and awfully short. They haven't had a lot out of their kicking game. Now they did get a field goal today. And it's going to be 4th and awfully short, Sam. So do you kick the field goal and go up 6? Or do you try to get the first down right here and end the game?
Well, his kicker is 1 for 2. A field goal try would probably be 49 yards.
And then a touchdown still beats you.
Well, it has been a great day here in Tampa. They have honored the 1979 Bucs team, the first team to ever make the playoffs for Tampa Bay. Leroy Selman, a Hall of Famer, the only Tampa Bay Buccaneer Hall of Famer, was honored by becoming the first man in the new Ring of Honor here in Tampa. And then Josh Freeman in his 2nd NFL game, his first NFL start, the 1st-round draft pick out of Kansas State, the 3rd quarterback chosen in the NFL draft, 17th overall. And he is giving the Bucs and their fans a vision of the future. There are some real good bright spots. The numbers aren't perfect by any means, but he's come up with big plays, and he took the team on a 72-yard touchdown drive to get them the lead. Now they're going for it. 4th and half a yard with Cadillac Williams and Ernest Graham in the backfield. Two tight ends, Jeremy Stevens and John Gilmore.
Forget the sneak. They're in a 3-man front in terms of having everybody covered up on the inside.
And Josh Freeman didn't like what he saw. He calls a timeout. That's the final timeout for the Bucs. For Josh Freeman, we talked about the help he got. An interception by Albert Mack. He got burned on a pass earlier. This is Geno Hayes with a punt block and recovered by Rondé Barber for his 14th career touchdown. Clifton Smith with an 83-yard kickoff return. That led to a touchdown. All those plays leading to touchdowns for the Bucs.
It's been a great team effort. And let's also not forget about the sacks for them defensively and how they got after it. They came into this game, you know, with barely 2 handfuls of sacks. 11 sacks coming into the game. They've had 5 in this one against the Green Bay Packers. So the defensive line has clearly done their job at the biggest spots with the game on the line.
Well, right now the game is on the line for the Packers. They need a hold. 2 backs, 2 tight ends. 4th and 1. Oh, that's going to be on the left tackle.
Number 76, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
The left guard, Jeremy Zuta.
Now you got a punt.
Yep. Well, that takes all the decision-making out.
Donald Penn there. And he and Zuta, the left guard. It was Zuta who went first, and then Donald Penn followed him.
So now Dirk Johnson back to punt. That's Tramon Williams back deep for the Packers. Johnson way up in the air. Williams lets it bounce inside the 10. And the Bucs have it surrounded. It comes to rest at the 4-yard line. The Packers have 1 timeout remaining, and they've got to go get into field goal range for their kicker, Mason Crosby. He can make them from 50 yards.
I think he's gone 52 as his long this year, so you'd like, I mean, if that holds up, you got to get to the 35-yard line.
He's made a 50-yarder. They've spotted the ball at the 13-yard line.
Look at that quick strike offense, what they've done this year. Average scoring drive, 6 plays, a little over 2 minutes. Obviously only a minute 35 to go in this one.
4 wide receivers. Rodgers throws short. James Jones dropped it. Packers 1 timeout remaining. So Kellen Winslow, he caught a big touchdown pass in the game. Aaron Rodgers, not a great game for him. Hit a couple of long passes for touchdowns, but 14 for 28. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 236 yards. The defense chant from the crowd. 3 wide receivers and Donald Lee, the tight end. Rodgers being rushed. He was going down. As he got rid of it, they rule him down. It's going to be a sack, I believe. Yes. Peter Morelli pointing to the ground at the 4-yard line. Sack number 6 in the game for the Bucs. Styles White got it.
Well, and he just bull rushes. Watch what he does here. He's out here at right end. Watch Styles White on Chad Clifton. Just going to push down inside and then bull rush Darren College right into the quarterback. And it did look like Aaron Rodgers' knee was down when he threw it.
From the end zone, the pass to James Jones at the 10, and the Bucs have him. They spotted at the 11-yard line. Rondé Barber and Styles White with a tackle. And the Packers still have to get to the 23-yard line for a first down, and they have used their final timeout. Can you taste it, Raheem? Can you taste that victory? Today's game was produced by Mike Burks, directed by Sandy Grossman, Associate Director Tom Yohe, Broadcast Associate Eric Mandia, Technical Producers Frank Phillips, Pregame Show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior Producer is Bill Brown. The Executive Producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Spotter in the booth, the great Gary Lynn. Our statistician, Emmett McGuire. And again, congratulations to our guys who went on the pregame show to Afghanistan and mingled with the troops there, brought us the 2-hour pregame special. Here's 4th and 12. Rodgers, nobody coming open, and that pass tipped and intercepted. Being brought back by Tenard Jackson. Heading for the end zone. Touchdown! The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win their first game of the season.
Well, all the effort finally pays off for this football team. We sat here on Friday and talked to a lot of them. They still great passion, great work ethic. They said it'll happen. We're working too hard. We got too much talent on this team not to get a W. They get the payoff today.
And this stadium continues to be a house of horrors for the Packers. This will be their 7th loss in 8 games in this stadium. Extra point, Connor Barth, it's good. It's 38-28, 3 interceptions in the game for the Bucs, 6 sacks.
How much credit do you give to the Creamsicles?
The Creamsicle uniforms paid off.
Wear them the rest of the year.
It's throwback day. They honor the 79 team. They wear the Creamsicles, and here is icing on the cake.
That would have been an awfully hard ball for Donald Driver to be able to catch. It was high, it was behind him. He gave a great effort. You see those tips and overthrows. That one being a tip in the middle of the field, or at least right over inside the numbers. Ends up being intercepted. Denard Jackson, third pick in the last 3 games for him.
Chris Rose, Trent Green, John Lynch in the studio with the AT&T postgame show. They've done a good job anchoring the studio in LA with the regular pregame guys in Afghanistan today.
Here it comes.
Oh, the Gatorade shower. That's the best feeling he's ever had. Win number 1.
That's great.
For head coach Raheem Morris.
You can see it in his face. And his players, again, you can't reiterate it enough in talking to the guys how much they care for Raheem Morris as a person, as a coach, and really, extremely frustrated with not winning a football game. Wanted to get one for him more than anything, and they've been able to achieve that today.
And what a fourth quarter. They trailed coming into the fourth quarter, and they kept fighting back.
With a rookie quarterback in his very first start, youngest quarterback ever to start for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Barth kicks it off. Amon Green, who earlier today became the Packers' all-time leading rusher. With a good return here, he's out of bounds across the 40-yard line. For the Green Bay Packers, they have really hit the midpoint of the season on a down note. A big loss at home last week to Brett Favre and the Minnesota Vikings in a big division game. And then down here in a game that Mike McCarthy said from the start of the week, this is a dangerous game. It's a game that everyone looks at and says, we should win this game. And he said the Bucs would be tough, and it's proven true.
They're 1-7 in this stadium. There's never a gimme in pro football on Sundays. That's why I say NFL stands for the National Fake You Out League, because you just never know. And look, Green Bay's out of sorts. That offensive line, you look at the 6 sacks they gave up today, that's 37 sacks on the season. They will not go far, Sam, unless they get better up front.
They reached the midway point of the season, 4-4. Rodgers rolling and throwing, completing to Greg Jennings, shoved out of bounds at the Bucs' 44-yard line. The Packers are out of timeouts, but they need 2 scores. Rondé Barber had a big touchdown. And for the Packers, next week, the second game of our Fox NFL doubleheader against the Dallas Cowboys. The week after, San Francisco at Green Bay. Then the short week, Thanksgiving Day in Detroit, and then back home against Baltimore and at Chicago.
3 of the 5 with winning records.
Tough schedule for the Pack. Rodgers rolls and throws it away. 16 seconds left. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have started the march to the future with Josh Freeman at the helm. What a day. His family here from Kansas City. Mom, dad, brother, sister. And they've seen something special.
The future starts out on the right foot. That's all you can say.
He came up with big plays. Led them to 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, including that go-ahead score.
I like the way he rebounded, Sam, with some of his mistakes early. I mean, it's not like he was off to a great start. He got it figured out. Made some terrific plays.
Rodgers' pass incomplete. 11 seconds remaining in the game. And you can see the body language for the Packers. Huge disappointment for them. Smiles abound on the sideline of the Bucs.
You know what's interesting, and to me, they're going to get better because they'll get Antonio Bryant back. They were without their best receiver today, Antonio Bryant, inactive with a knee injury, and still able to do what they were able to do with the rookie quarterback through the air. Impressive.
A lot of contributions, both sides of the ball.
No doubt. Special teams as well.
11 seconds to go to put it in the books. Everyone out, swing it out to Brandon Jackson. He goes to the sideline, out of bounds at the 35-yard line with 5 seconds to go. Can only wonder what he's feeling inside. Raheem Morris, he just wants to jump up and down. He's got to control himself. It was Josh Johnson, gave up his starting role because the number 1 man, Josh Freeman, the first-round draft pick, has taken over. He's the number 1 quarterback.
About 34 pass attempts, and the offensive line only gives up 1 sack today.
Good job. They've done a real good job. of the game. Rodgers winds up, throws it into the end zone, and it is batted down, and that's it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their rookie head coach Raheem Morris have won their first game of the season as they defeat the Green Bay Packers 38-28. The two veterans, Barber and Driver, they battled all game long. And the Bucs found the way to win in the fourth quarter, led by their rookie quarterback, Josh Freeman. Big day for the Bucs. We'll be back in Tampa right after this.
They got it done yesterday.
In the orange popsicle.
In the popsicle. You, Raheem Morris coming off the bye. Maybe he needed that bye week to help his team out. What differences did you see in this game?
I just saw a team that was really determined. And anytime you block a punt and score for a touchdown, that's great special teams play, but that puts your team, the momentum squarely on your shoulders, and you can use it to take advantage of that.
Your thoughts on Josh Freeman in his first NFL start?
I mean, the pump fake here, getting the corner to bite was a pretty good play. I thought he passed the eye test.
Yeah, he did. Aaron Rodgers got sacked like 5 more times in this game, and Tampa Bay's defense really stepped up when it needed to. Tanard Jackson, just the clincher right there. Green Bay was desperate for something to happen, and Tampa wins it by 10. Raheem Morris, his first win as an NFL coach. Here he is, talking about it. Creamsicle uniforms, man. Into that 11-game losing streak, Josh Freeman coming in, his first NFL start. The stats, 14-31. He did have an interception, but 205 yards and 3 touchdowns. It seems like they made the right move. What impressed you about the youngster, and how can he improve?
I thought from a resiliency standpoint that he really struggled in the beginning, but he was able to maintain his composure and get back into the groove and into the flow of the game. Made all the throws is one thing, but making them in the fourth quarter when your team needs you, I mean, that's what separates the good quarterbacks from the average ones. And this is a very good, not great, but good Packer defense, and the way he was able to distribute the ball, move in and out of the pocket, to me really showed me that he has nothing but upside for his abilities and for this Tampa Bay organization.
What did this do for Raheem Morris? I mean, his team was struggling. He's a young head coach coming to the league, and they were just not winning at all. Get their first win. What's this do for him?
Well,